Neo's got the mic, he's taking charge. Carl's geeking out, his knowledge large. Ryan's dropping facts like a game pro. On Party Chat, we'll steal the show. Plug in your headphones, feel the beat. Talking games with passion can't be beat. From launch parties to quests untold, Party Chat's the place to be, we're bold. Discussing favorite games of all time, pixelated worlds and icy climbs, controllers and joysticks we adore. Level up with us, there's so much more. Plug in your headphones, feel the beat. Talking games with passion can't be beat. From launch parties to quests untold, Party Chat's the place to be, we're bold.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Party Chat. It's been a while. I was just looking, I was like, when was the last Party Chat? And it was on June 9th. So it's been a little while. It's good to be back. Summer hiatus is over. We're back in the full swing of things. So I am so glad to be back with Party Chat and my excellent co-host, Carl. How are you doing tonight?
I'm tired. It was a long day at work today.
Well, either way, I'm glad you're here. Good to be back to talk some games. And unfortunately, it's unlikely Ryan's going to be joining us tonight. He was going to be here, and it is also his birthday today. So go give him some birthday wishes. But also, he's got some family health issues. I don't know what he's announced to the public, so I'm not going to go into it. But because of that, he's not able to be here with us tonight. So everyone, go. If you do wish him birthday wishes, also go wish him some thoughts and our thoughts and prayers are with him. So go wish him, all the best in the family health issues that are going on right now, because he's got some tough stuff going on. So, hopefully Ryan will be back with us in a couple weeks. But either way, good to be back. And we got a guest joining us as per usual. We got Atomic Patriot, who has joined me for open mic a little while back, but now he's joining us for Party Chat. So welcome. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I'm happy to always be on your show, man. Just can't wait to talk games.
Well, glad you are here. So before we get into our topics for tonight, I always like to go around the horn here and let everyone give a little description about whatever they've been playing lately. So Tom Patriot, what have you been playing lately?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Ocarina of Time, really. That one I've been getting back into. I'm remembering how much I love that game. It's great. And I've also been playing some games on Steam that I'm not remembering at this moment right now. But Ocarina of Time is the one I've been really just getting back into.
Okay. Now, did you play that back in the day, I assume?
No, I played a little bit on the 3DS.
3DS. Okay, I've not played that.
My older brother was the one who played it on 64 and a lot more. So, but I'm playing it on the Nintendo Switch now, and it's pretty fun.
Okay. I just replayed through that earlier this year as well. I played a bunch of Zelda games in preparation for the Wii U, or not the Wii U, the Wii getting retro achievements. I was looking forward to playing through Twilight Princess again. And until I recently replayed Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time was my favorite Zelda, but it has now been replaced with Twilight Princess. But Ocarina of Time is still excellent. And I haven't played through it in its entirety in this version I'm about to mention, but I recently discovered something called Ship of Harkanian. So I'll probably put a link to that in the stream's description afterwards. But you do have to take, your own. You basically have to rip the game, and so you have your own ROM file, and then you plug it into the Ship of Arcanian program that you download, and it runs it in like 4K 60 FPS and has tons of like optional checkboxes and stuff you can choose for like all these quality of life improvements, and is like definitively. I played around. Think I beat the Deku Tree, so I beat like the first little section of the game.
Yeah.
And oh my god, playing it in 60 FPS was like mind blowing, because playing it back on the N64, that thing like rarely hit like 20 FPS. So playing it in 60 was like, oh my god, it was like mind blowing. So if you have the ability to play it that way, that is the way I recommend playing it. I don't know when I'll play through it in its entirety via the Ship of Arcanian route, but I definitely want to at some point because it is fantastic. So.
Oh yeah,
right.
Definitely one of the best Zelda games.
Yep, absolutely. So, Carl, what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing a lot of stuff. Recently, I just beat Dense Attack last night.
Okay, I saw you posted a review. I think I saw it on Panics.
Yeah.
So you seemed a little mixed on it.
How can I say? You could tell that the dev team has a lot of talent per se, and how they can program a game and it can function. There was no real glitches or issues at all. Most of that was just from how can I say it? Obviously it's more based off of doing tricks and combos and that, so most of the problems that you'll occur are from you just like over trying to get a little too big and cocky, you know what I mean?
Okay, yep.
You're flying all over the place, you're trying to do tricks, and I'm like, I just flew like 20 yards out of bounds over here into this building because I tried to pull like a 180 or something, But generally speaking, it's an indie game, so you kind of grade everything on a curve a little bit here. So you can tell they spent a lot of their budget on the soundtrack of this game, because they were getting some actually pretty famous Japanese people to sing for them. One of them in particular I noticed was Lotus Juice, and he's very popular because he does pretty much all the Persona music.
Okay, so it's not a licensed soundtrack.
No, it's
okay.
I think most of it is original score, and then like maybe some more Japanese pop. I was talking to AC about it, and he recognized one of the bands in there that I shared as an up and comer, but it looks like it's mostly independent, like SoundCloud kind of people.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the writing, it was just very bad. But that's, like I said, I could tell where their budget went, and then it looks like they just said like, this person's on Reddit who wrote a creepypasta. Let's just hire them to just do the story and get us through it. That's what it felt like.
Okay, because I've kind of been on the offense about this game because I'm a huge Tony Hawk fan. Would you recommend it to me and maybe just skip all the dialogue?
I gave it a B-. I mean, there's not really any dialogue in the game, like at all, really. It's just like a few kind of cutscenes. You got to look at it from this perspective. It's an indie game. Whenever you play an indie game, it's not going to like blow your socks away in terms of probably writing all the time, and it's not going to be like the longest game. You could tell like towards the end, the ending felt a little bit rushed, and like I said, there's just some stuff in there that I thought was comical. Like I said, it's like a really bad Captain Planet episode, because that's really what it was. At the end of the day, they're talking about that was a climate catastrophe, and it's like the most diverse I've ever seen Japan. And like AC and me were kind of joking about that a little bit, because it's like, what happened? The entire environment collapsed, and then all the foreigners that were there just took over because all the Japanese people started dying off. But like, you kind of look past that stuff and just go like, okay, is it like in your face levels like of absurd like Dustborn? And the correct answer is no, it wasn't. It's just like they have it there, and then you go like, it's just there.
It sounds like the gameplay is pretty solid though.
The gameplay is super solid.
Okay.
It's very interesting and fun. Will say that if you played Astrobot, it's very forgiving in that sense, like Astrobot. So that's the one thing I would say about it. It's fun. I called it a mixture of like all the Sega games from like the 90s and 2000s with like Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio, but with like a Tony Hawk extra layer of feel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fast paced. It's frenetic. It's only $20. It's on Game Pass. It plays pretty good on the Switch too because it's on everything as well. So far, I gave it a B minus. It's like you could make an argument it could get a C plus, but I think that the studio did a above average job.
Okay.
And then I also beat the Halo campaign Evolved as well.
Okay.
The prequel missions were a glitch fest and a nightmare. They really messed that one all up in terms of technical performance. But then when I went to play the campaign, I only had like 2 times where the audio was an issue. And that was it. Besides that, I actually did enjoy the campaign once we got into the campaign proper. I think they did a good job. There were some weird lines they added, which I was like, I don't remember that being in the original. And I don't think it took away necessarily, but I was like, that's weird. But they redid the library, and I actually loved it a lot more. I thought they did a great job at that.
That's the main thing I heard that they changed in the original campaign is the library, I guess, because originally you were going up and now you're going down. I don't know if that's the main thing you're referring to, but I heard that that's like the biggest level that they changed.
They changed the format and the layout and add some new stuff, and I think it's actually really good. The introduction of the flood was really good too as well. Personally speaking, it was like a tale of two halves, I would say. So at the beginning of that, they kept adding hunters. It feels like just to have like an enemy. We got wave after wave of enemies, and let's throw some hunters at you just because they're hunters, right? They're scary. And then after the second half, it felt just I was playing on heroic, and then it just felt like I was playing Halo 1 all over again. Just I got back into my groove.
The groove. Okay.
Yeah, because I was just having a little bit of an issue with that because I'm like, why is there hunters everywhere? Just around the corner, hunter. Here's a hunter. There's a hunter. Yeah, it's like the Oprah meme. You get a hunter. Now you get a hunter.
I'm assuming they probably removed the ability to one-shot him in the back.
Not necessarily. I
hope not.
I didn't have any issues with that per se. I just more so just kept running into too many of them. I think I didn't have trouble killing them once I got them in the back, but I think they made it a little bit more interesting to get it to them.
Okay.
They have like the armor that like you could shoot the armor off the hunters now, and you can have more weak spots to hit them.
Okay.
That's what it felt like. So I think they did a decent job with it. I just, like I said, way too many hunters, and I'm running out of ammo because I'm not like some people. Like you watch the speedruns, they're just like, I'm just jumping over all of you guys. Like for me, I actually try to like play the game and take them all down, and then I'm running out of ammo. I need to play like a speedrunner and not like a normal person who would look at a video game.
Okay.
But yeah, besides that, the other games I've been playing Splatoon Raiders. I started playing that one. Picked that up because a lot of people have been talking really good about it. Nice little chill game, I would say. Never played a Splatoon game.
I've heard this one's quite different than the regular Splatoon games.
Yeah, it's more of like a linear third-person shooter kind of feel to it.
Yeah, aren't the other Splatoon games more like a competitive shooter of sorts?
Yeah, they're more multiplayer focused. But like I said, I've never played one because
same.
I don't really play multiplayer as much as I used to, and on top of that too, I don't want to play with a bunch of little kids anymore. I'm 35, so it gets a little weird to hang out with kids in these lobbies now.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Basically, almost there. But yeah, I've been kind of I've been enjoying that. It's been my bedtime game, so I'll play like an hour or two of it while I'm just chilling in bed and my wife's like sleeping next to me. But it's pretty charming so far. Not super hard. I'm only playing on medium difficulty, but it's definitely not. It's made probably more towards kids and gyro controls.
Okay.
So you're aiming. You move the controller to shoot, like how you want to aim, and then you put the trigger to shoot your gun. So I've been slowly working around with that, but it's actually pretty responsive if you play with gyro controls because you just press the Y button to recenter it, and then it just configures your gyro motion. So if you're like you move it, your arms a certain way to readjust. You just press Y and then you can continue on from there. You have the ability to turn that off, which is nice. But I think it works pretty well with the gyro controls. So
I've never played anything with gyro controls, but I've heard that it's once you get used to it, it's actually a really good way to play.
Yeah, I would say this one is it's kind of weird just because I like first person shooters, so I'm not used to the gyro thing, but I got a hang of it a lot quicker. A lot better than the new controls for Campaign Evolved, because I had to reconfigure the entire controllers for Campaign Evolved.
I'm going to talk about that in a moment.
I like I said, I have decades of muscle memory of playing Halo games. So once anything changes, I'm like, no,
you know it immediately. It's like, this doesn't feel right.
It's not good in my hands. And then so that's almost about it. I started Beast of Reincarnation last night.
Oh, okay.
And it's a Souls-like.
Yeah, I've been hearing it's not, but everything it looks like a Souls-like.
It's more forgiving, but it's still got all the things I hate about Souls-like games, And this one just annoys me even more. I only played about an hour and a half because it did have a 32 gigabyte day one patch.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So the performance issues was one of the major reasons why it's getting dinged so much in the reviews. I didn't have any of that issue. I'm playing on a Series X, so everyone can know what I'm playing on. But the problem is, once again, it's just I parry, and then it just seems like the enemy's like, oh, that's cool, you parried. I'm going to just keep walking forward and hacking you up. And then it just 3 hits and you're dead. I'm like, yeah, this is why I hate Souls-like games,
Yeah, the fact that I've been hearing it's not really a Souls-like, I'm like, okay, that makes me more interested in it. But then you're saying it really is Souls-like. Makes me, because I was interested in it. I'll need to look more into it. But if it is too Soulsy, I'll probably not.
I've tried to play Souls-like games. I've played that one where you play as that plague doctor. But I don't remember the name of it. Thamesia or something. I don't. It's something. But it's a very Souls-like game, and I've played Dark Souls, and it's not my type of game. I'm like, I want a little bit of fun, and this game just seems like it's a game that'll just get your blood boiling a little bit.
It's more forgiving, I would say, because I don't think you have necessarily a stamina bar to attack like a standard Souls-like game.
Okay.
I'm playing on the medium difficulty. I just go with the normal medium.
I did hear it does have difficulty settings, which is nice. The Souls games typically don't.
I will say that they try something different, which I've been seeing a lot, especially from the Japanese genre more so, where when you attack your enemy, because you got a special little wolf guy that is your companion in this game, during battle, you can press the Y button, and it'll bring up a turn-based command for your little wolf guy, and he could kind of slow down the pace of battle, but you got to build up his meter. So it's interesting. It looks like they're trying something new. It is Game Freak. A lot of people give them a lot of crap, and they haven't had the best track record when they left Pokemon, and a lot of people say they haven't had a best track record with Pokemon in general right now. But I would say that so far I could see their vision, because there is a lot of interesting things here. I wouldn't say it plays badly right now, but like I said, I'm not a big Souls-like fan. But right now, I think I could kind of overpower it if I just put in 10% more effort. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Souls game either, but my suffering will be continuing again in the next couple of weeks with Dark Souls 2. Because
that's the worst one.
Because I did the whole Dark Souls 1 on stream, and I put it out there as if you want to see me continue suffering, there's an open invitation. If anyone ever gifts me a Dark Souls 2 on Xbox, I will continue the Dark Souls suffer. And someone did that. And so that is going to be continuing here soon, and I'm not looking forward to it. But all right. Any last thoughts on Beasts of Reincarnation there, Carl?
Like I said, very early so far. It's interesting. You could tell that they wanted to join that trend of let's make a Souls-like game, but also try to appeal to a broader audience by making it not as terrible for some people. And so far, I would say it's kind of working, but I like I said, I played Jedi Fallen Order, and I was just kind of like, I didn't like it as much as I thought I would, but we'll see. Like I said, they're trying something different, and I'll give them an A for effort, but we'll see.
Yeah, Fallen Order. I played that one. I liked it for the most part. It's really the only proper Souls likes I've played is actual Dark Souls Remastered and Fallen Order. I haven't played Jedi Survivor yet, but it is in the backlog at some point. So, but
Are
Fallen
those
Order's
considered Souls-like?
they're like I call them like babies for Souls likes because they are very Souls like in mechanics.
So it'd be more like Souls Light. Something.
Yes,
Yeah.
but yeah, I enjoyed it. But yeah, I'll be playing Jedi Survivor at some point. But I like those Fallen Order far more than I like Dark Souls. I'll definitely say that.
Yeah, I also wasn't like a fan of Stellar Blade either.
That's in the backlog as well.
Yeah, and
So,
AC has been kind of convincing me to give it a try, especially because their new game looks very interesting to me.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, I just bought it again because it was on sale from Amazon. So I'm like, yeah, we'll add it back into the rotation of we'll see.
All right. For myself, kind of with all the Halo news, leading up to releasing, the campaign Evolve releasing last week, I was like, you know what? I never played through. It's been in the backlog for a while, but I never got through Halo Infinite. So I played through Halo Infinite, and I have pretty much all of the achievements except for the co-op ones, which a dude and Paul and I started doing because we've been going through all the Halo games, but it's been taking us like 2 to 3 years just because of how infrequently we can all get together on one day and play it. But we recently started doing that on stream and got through a little bit. But I also played through the whole campaign myself for the first time. And for the most part, I really enjoyed it. The gameplay was really good. It was a lot better than I was expecting. The story, I thought, was definitely the worst part of it. But I still thought it was way better than Halo 5. So,
yeah, they did what they could after Halo 5. I will give them credit for that.
So overall, I really enjoyed playing Halo Infinite, and it was also, once I got through the story, it was a great podcast game, going around and collecting all the audio logs while I was listening to other stuff.
Yeah, it had a lot of fun traversal, especially with the grappling hook.
Oh, the grapple shot! I freaking loved it.
Great, yeah, man.
So,
I have not played Infinite. I've actually not really played any Halo game after 4.
Okay.
So I've been wanting to try Infinite because that one at least looked somewhat fun, but I've only played 1, 2, 3, 4 in Reach.
Okay.
I think it's good.
I really enjoyed it. There's a couple quality of life tweaks that I wish they had made, because once you start unlocking a bunch of weapons, scrolling through all the weapons in the basically like not your shop, but like your bases, and you can pick whatever one you want. They could have streamline that a little bit so you're not having to scroll through so many guns to get what you want. They could have made it a grid or something, but I basically, for the gameplay, that was like my biggest nitpick, was just the cycling through all the weapons to get the one that you want. But yeah, overall gameplay was a lot of fun. The grapple shot was an excellent addition.
I fucking love the grapple shot, man. That's the one thing when I was playing campaign, I was like, man, I wish I had the grapple shot a little bit here. I was just like, I love that so much. It's like the one thing I want them to actually bring back, because it is so well done. You could do some really fun tricks and stuff in the game with it.
I felt like Spider Master Chief.
Honestly, like I said, for the people who hated sprint, if they just said, they're like, okay, we'll get rid of sprint, but you get a grappling shot, I would be like, I'm in. I'm so in. Because it just adds so much different, dimensions to the gameplay. Kind of just grapple shotting a gun or a energy container. You can throw it at people.
Or enemies, and you do like a super power punch.
Yeah,
I love doing that.
And like I said,
I took some funny clips because I did that, and I launched enemies like beyond the draw distance of the game. It was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, and I was just like, wow, this is probably, like, I took that as like, this is probably the first time I think 343 actually did something in the positive direction with Halo, where they can actually do something good with that. And we'll see, because everything you see out of 343 is one day is like, no, nothing's going on, and then the next day it's like, well, actually that's not true, we actually have like 5 projects in development. I'm like, I don't know, speculation's dead now. We'll see when it comes to fruition. But Halo Studios, whatever you guys call yourself now, if you could just continue the Halo gameplay wise that you made with the grapple shot and everything. Just go back to that and just keep evolving that, because this is great. It's probably like the best, change to Halo since Halo 3's equipment.
Okay.
I would honestly say that.
That's definitely not a bad take. But yeah, so after I finished up Halo Infinite, I think I finished getting all the achievements I was planning on getting day before yesterday. And last night I started Campaign Evolved. I did start up, and I did like the opening sequence of the original, Pillar of Autumn, the original. So I got to like Keys, and then I fought through, right after you get the gun, you fight through the cafeteria. So but then I dropped back out to the menu and I started with the prequel mission. So I did the first 2 prequel missions. But yeah, playing through the Campaign Evolved after just playing Halo Infinite, I'm like, I really missed the grapple shot a lot.
It's so good. Like it just is such a game changer to how that game. No pun intended here to Campaign Evolve, but it was like the first real evolution we probably saw in Halo that was good in probably like a decade to that point.
Campaign Evolved. You talking about Infinite?
I'm talking about with Infinite. Like I was making a pun there. It's just like actually evolved the campaign.
Okay, I missed that part. So
no, you're fine.
I agree. But yeah, the one thing that it took me a while to get it to the way I wanted it, because in the original Halo, I swear there was like 6 or 7 different control schemes, but in Campaign Evolved, there's 4. And the one thing that drove me nuts is because the default setting is more like modern first-person shooters, where left trigger is aim down sights.
Yeah.
Whereas originally it was basically R3, click your right joystick.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's on a trigger, you can't even though previous Halos like Infinite worked like this, and I'm pretty sure 4 and 5, you could just tap the left trigger and it would zoom in. In Campaign Evolved, it won't stay zoomed in unless you hold the trigger. And I was like, I am not playing this with like this. And there's like so many customization options in the settings menu, but there's no zoom toggle. There's a crouch toggle, but there's no zoom toggle.
There is.
So not on Xbox. I looked everywhere for it. I even Googled
You got to custom map it.
No, well, that's what I'm saying is there's no option to toggle it. You have to go and remap your controls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. You can remap your controls, because that's what I did. I looked through all those preset options, and then I said I will take the next 5 minutes to make sure everything works correctly and just remap everything to muscle memory.
Yeah, so the modern control scheme I liked, except for the fact that you had to hold the trigger. So I remapped it, and so now I can just tap left trigger, and I don't have to hold it in order to zoom. So once I made that change, I was like, okay, I'm good with this now. It was really stupid that there was no toggle setting in there. I had to go and Google it to figure out how to do it in game, which was really annoying.
I get what you're trying to say, yeah.
But yeah, so I did the first 2 prequel missions. So I've got one more. So
were they glitchy?
I know you said you had a lot of glitches. I haven't run into any glitches that I've noticed. The only thing that I really hated is that Williams character. She's freaking biatch. I want to freaking backhand her for being so bitchy. But other than that, I've enjoyed playing it so far. Like I said, I've only done 2 missions, but that's the thing I'm currently working on. I just started it last night. So the one other thing that I've recently been playing is Super Metroid just got a revision on retro achievements. And so I went through and did another playthrough, and I got not all of the new achievements, but I got most of them. So I did another playthrough of Super Metroid just this last week as well. So that is everything that I've been playing lately. So before we get into our topics, let's see. I see Nishi Does Gaming is in chat. Hello, Nishi. Good to see you again, as well as Sophie Chronicler. Is that the same as Sophie from or is this a different Sophie?
From the homies? Yes.
Okay. Hello, Sophie. It's been a while. Good to see you again. And I see Dude just rated over on Rumble because I think he was playing his I think he was doing Mario Galaxy 2. So he rated on Rumble. Good evening, Dude. Good to see you. And he says Recon control scheme in Halo is the superior control scheme. I originally played, when Halo first came out, I just played it with the default it was back then. But after we started playing a ton of multiplayer, I switched to Boxer, which is not even in Campaign Evolved anymore, but Boxer made it so that instead of left trigger being your grenade, left trigger is melee and B is grenade. And that's because one of the game types I used to love to play is we basically it was almost like an honor system because you couldn't turn off the ability to fire guns, but it was no shields, 50% health, and you just have to run around and punch each other. And obviously, if you started shooting, then it's kind of unfair, but it was fun to just run around and punch each other. It was a one-hit kill, so it was really all about the timing. And so in order to be able to punch and turn at the same time, I switched it to left trigger, but that's not even a control scheme anymore. So I don't know which one Recon is. I'll have to go and look, but I know he's a fan of Recon. I did play that for the boxer setting for a long time until more modern shooters came out, and like left trigger was always aim down sight. So now basically, once that became the standard, then I started playing every Halo with left trigger as the aim down sights. So whatever that control scheme is the one that I usually go with. So, all right. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and get into our topics. First thing on the agenda is so this first topic tonight, it came to me because I am going tomorrow night to see live one of my favorite bands of all time before they're too old or they all die off. I'm seeing AC/DC in concert tomorrow night, and I'm freaking stoked.
Ooh. Are like half of them already dead, though?
One of them died. So the two that started the band is Malcolm and Angus Young, and I don't remember. I think
Angus died.
Angus died, and Malcolm is still alive. As far as the rest of them, I have not heard of any of them dying, so I'm pretty sure the rest of
their original lead singer died.
Oh, well, Bon Scott died back in like the 80s.
Yeah, I know. So half of them are dead. There you go.
But Brian Johnson replaced him, and I prefer Brian Johnson to Bon Scott anyways. So
is it true they found Bon Scott in front of Big Ben?
How he became part of the band, I have no idea.
No, when he died, they found him dead in front of Big Ben in London.
Oh, how they found him dead? I don't know really much about their history.
I don't know. My stepdad always tells me, yeah, they found him dead in front of Big Ben. And I'm like, I never checked this as like a fact check. I just took his word.
I'll have to look into that. I don't know. But yeah, so obviously Bon Scott died a long time ago, but Brian Johnson and the rest of the crew, I'm pretty sure are all still the original members. But anyways, I'm going to see them live tomorrow night, so I'm super stoked. So I was thinking about, because Angus died a couple of years ago. It wasn't that long ago. And I was thinking about, what is like one concert that I would want to go to, like, for anyone ever living or dead. And I was like, if there was one concert I could go to, it would have been a Michael Jackson concert. But
MJ's a good one.
Beatles
and Michael Jackson, I think.
I'm a huge fan of Michael Jackson as well. I don't really like the Beatles. But anyways, I was like, you know what? And then it popped into my head. It's like, oh, that could apply to video games as well. So I thought, if you could hang out with anybody from the games industry, whether it's a composer, a game director, a voice actor, motion capture, whatever, just someone who's been a part of the games industry, whether they're alive or they're dead, who would you want to hang out with today? Whether it was just to hang out with and have a good time, or have it be more like an interview and ask them about their time in the industry, whatever, who would you want to hang out with for a day? So that's kind of where that came from. And so that's our first topic for tonight, is who in the game industry would you want to hang out with for a day? So do either of you want to go first? I've got an answer ready to go if you don't have an answer ready.
I have a couple people, so I'll go last.
Okay.
I have one person right now that I'm thinking of, and he's alive. Gabe Newell.
Okay, that's an excellent answer. I did not think about Gabe, but that's a good answer.
That's because, early Valve games like Half-Life 1 and 2 are just superior games. Especially Half-Life 2, man. And I would just love to. I would love to just pick his brain about like those games and just
maybe
have
hang
fun
out with him on his yacht.
Yeah. Plus, like he owns Steam, and Steam is probably the best freaking game purchasing platform that we have available compared to almost everything else besides GOG. But
yeah, I was gonna say I think GOG is better, but
I think GOG is
larger,
better. But at least with Steam, they don't hate gamers. It seems like, unlike other platforms. But yeah, I would love to sit down and talk with Gabe, and I can't think of anyone else right now. At least any names I can think of people, but I can't remember their names right now. So
okay, that's a good answer. I did not think of him, but I'm also not a huge Steam gamer. I have a decent sized Steam library, and I will be getting more into Steam gaming in the future. But I've mainly been a console player for most of my life. I've been an Xbox bro for most of the time. It was basically because of Halo is what got me into Xbox, and then achievements with the 360 is what kept me. So that's the main reason I'm mainly an Xbox guy. But I'm assuming, are you mostly a PC gamer?
Mostly. I grew up with mainly Xbox, but then once I got a PC, I kind of just went and straight to a PC. And I don't really regret it, because now it seems like almost every console game is pretty much available or has been available for
the most part,
for PC. But then they're going back to exclusives, which could be a good thing.
All right, well, good answer. So I was thinking about it this afternoon, because I put out these questions to you guys a few days in advance, but this was one of the ones that a lot of times when I pick out the questions that are going to be for party chat, I already have my answer ahead of time. But there are some times where I'm like, I'm going to need a couple days to think about this one. So I was thinking about this one this afternoon, trying to figure out who it would be that I would want to hang out with. I did, when I first wrote the question down, I think I came up with this question last week. I wrote down tons of names, like basically all the big name people in the industry I could think of. Then I kind of narrowed it down from there. So the two that I kind of narrowed it down to, and I'm not sure if I think I know who I'd pick between the two, but the two that I picked at like the top of the top of the pecking order was Phil Spencer, because he seems like, even though he's not with Xbox anymore, he seemed like a really cool guy, and I'm pretty sure he actually legitimately was a gamer, and not just a bigwig at Xbox. So, and me being a big Xbox guy, I think it would be cool to hang out with him and talk to him about his time at Xbox, and just talk about his favorite games and stuff like that. And then my other top pick is Drew Karpyshyn, who do you know who that is? I'm pretty sure Carl does, but I'm curious.
The name sounds familiar. But I can't remember exactly.
I know Carl does. Yeah, so he's most famously known for writing a number of games. And so my favorite, both Carl and I's favorite franchise of all time in gaming is Mass Effect. And so Drew Karpyshyn wrote Mass Effect 1 and 2. And he also wrote 3 of the 4 Mass Effect books. The 4th one we don't talk about because it was terrible. But those 3 books that he wrote were also excellent. And he also wrote a couple of Star Wars books, and those were my favorite Star Wars books as well. And he wrote the Darth Bane trilogy, who is my favorite Star Wars character.
Okay.
And the reason why I discovered that is because before the Mass Effect game came out, I heard there was going to be a Mass Effect book. So I read the book, and I think my Mass Effect book is... Oh, you can't see it, but it's right above my shelf of games is my gaming books. But on the back of the inside cover, it said, if you like Drew Karpyshyn, more of what he wrote, and said Star Wars. So I'm like, he wrote Star Wars? I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And so I read his books, and they became my favorite Star Wars books, and Darth Bane is my favorite Star Wars character. So very, very nice. So it was between my 2 picks were Phil Spencer and Drew Karpyshyn, given that he's worked on my favorite franchise of all time and also wrote my favorite Star Wars books of all time. If I had to pick between the 2, I'd probably pick Drew Karpyshyn. And it was also awesome. There was one time, this was a number of years ago, but there was a Twitter thread, because this is back when it was still Twitter. I don't remember if it was about Mass Effect or if it was about Star Wars, but I said something to the effect of, Drew Karpyshyn has written amazing Mass Effect and Star Wars books, and I didn't tag him, and he liked my tweet. So I was like, oh my God, Drew Karpyshyn saw and liked my tweet. So,
that's always nice, man.
So yeah, if I had to pick, probably Drew Karpyshyn would be the one I want to hang out with today and talk to him about Mass Effect and Star Wars all day long. So what about you, Carl? Who would you want to hang out with for a day?
First guy I would want to hang out with is Tim Schafer.
Okay.
I love Tim Schafer's work, from everything Day of the Tentacle, Grim Fandango, Monkey's Island, obviously Psychonauts. I love Double Fine as a studio. He kind of has that, ironically enough, that Tim Burton-esque personality that I really like. Tim Burton's one of my favorite directors. So I like hanging out. I would love to hang out with all those weirdo creatives. Him, Suda51, guy who made Lollipop Chainsaw and all that stuff.
I know the name Suda51, but I don't know the body of work.
So Kojima's the Japanese dev for Western people. Suda51's the Japanese dev for Japanese people. That's what I always like to say. So he kind of has that Kojima-esque, weird esoteric takes and psychedelic stuff.
That's kind of the gist I get from what I hear about his games.
Yeah, but they are definitely geared more towards Japanese people. It's not even I'm not even trying to joke about this. Like his games, you have to understand Japanese culture just like 5 degrees more than just I watch anime and I'm a weeb. All right, that's what it is. Like Kojima's for weebs and Suda's for people who really love Japanese like weird horror and blood flicks and all that stuff. Like you know, I would say if you know what Battle Royale is or the Suicide Club, those are kind of like the best ways to say that's the kind of Suda 51 kind of art style.
Okay. I don't know those things that you just referenced.
There-
Like I know Battle Royale, the genre, but if you're talking about like a movie or a game, I don't know that one.
Yeah. I forget the another one. It's like High School Death Club or something. These are like some really weird, bloody, over the top Japanese movies.
Oh, they're movies. Okay.
Yeah, they're movies.
Interesting.
I know. I think Battle Royale was what inspired the Hunger Games, right?
Something like that. I don't know much about Western media. I surprisingly know more about like Asian movies than I do like American and European movies. This is weird.
Yeah, because I know how little you know like movies and stuff. So the fact that you knew a movie that I didn't, I'm impressed. But I don't know almost anything about Japanese media. So
I probably know some stuff that would surprise you. But like I said, I just more focus on video games because that's what I actually know a lot about. Another one I would like to, if he was still alive, Itagaki, the creator of DOA, I would like to.
that was one of the names I wrote down. Tomonobu. Well, I've always been saying Tomonobu, but it's Tomonobu. I discovered that when I was pulling his name up the other day. But yeah, he is one of the ones that I wrote down on my list. Not for DOA, but because I'm a huge fan of Ninja Gaiden.
Listen. I'm an American and I can barely speak English. All right, give me a credit here. I can barely pronounce Japanese.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is all these years I've been saying his name wrong because I thought I had it in my name or in my head different than what his actual name was. It was an M and not a B, so I was saying Tobu and it was Tomu. So that was just something that I discovered the other day after I wrote his name down. I looked him up.
Keiji Inafune would be a fun one because I'd be like, so why did you ruin Capcom when you were in charge of it?
Let's see. I'm pretty sure I wrote down his name as one of the potential ones because I am we did that Capcom episode, or no, we did the Mega Man episode. I'm a huge Mega Man fan, so
the cover art was made in an hour. That still blows my mind. I love saying that.
Yep,
they fully admit that. It's like that iconic American cover art was made in less than an hour.
Yep. So I didn't think about Inafune. I mean, I did write his name down, but it didn't make my short list. But I would totally be down for that as well.
The Resident Evil devs, I'm blanking on his name right now. He made his own studio. Jeez.
It's Capcom.
Yeah, he made a Resident Evil 2 dev, father of Resident Evil. I know his name. I almost said the former
is it Shinji Mikami?
Shinji Mikami, yes.
I've heard that name. I don't know why though.
Shinji Mikami and the really grouchy one on Twitter. I'm blanking on their names right now. But but like what I'm talking about. The Bayonetta dev.
Yes, that's exactly who I thought you were talking about.
I know. I would like to hang out with them, especially the Bayonetta guy, only because he's a crazy racist, and I would like to pick his brain.
What's his name? I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm really blanking. Hideki Kamiya, there you go. I know these names, but I just completely was like blanking on them for some reason. I had a really long day at work. I'm just struggling here. But
I couldn't think of his name either.
Well, Hideki Kamiya made a lot of like my favorite games, as well as Shinji Ikami, because they also worked on games like Beautiful Joe, Resident Evil 4, Okami, God Hand, just like that great run of these weird, trippy games. And also Inafune, he also helped out on, Onimusha and everything. Just like, I'm a huge Capcom fan. So just to like talk to those guys who really put Capcom like on the map would be fun to just talk to all those guys.
Yeah.
And some musical composers. But that's
I did write down a few composers, but they didn't make my top of my list. I'm not, like I always say, it's like I didn't really get into paying attention to video game music until I started my YouTube channel and met guys like you and Angry Canadian and Artorial.
Another one I was thinking of while you guys were talking was new one, a more relevant face of the last few years is Todd Howard, because
I did think about that.
I got a few gripes with how they handle the Fallout franchise specifically, because that is like my favorite video game franchise, and
It's a bummer Ryan's not here today because that's like his favorite franchise as well. He loves Fallout.
Oh man, yeah, I could go into hours of talking about Fallout, man. But Todd Howard, I got a few things that annoy me with how.
So I want to get these off my chest.
Yeah, yeah.
Todd Howard could do a good interview. He is really good at talking to people.
Yeah,
he's very good at that, and like always, I give him credit for that, because like being in this position you're in, you have to be.
You know what? I was just thinking about this too, because we were just talking about Fallout. Brian Fargo would be a really fun guy to talk to as well.
I don't know that name.
Brian Fargo, InXile head dev, worked on the original Fallout games.
Okay.
Kind of like I had a similar story to you about that. I was watching Angry Video Game Nerd episode, and they were playing Terminator 2, or he was playing Terminator 2. And he walks in
SNES game?
Yes. That really crappy licensed LJN game. And you just walk into, he walks into a theater, and there's like a fight going on, and in the background is the credit, and all the devs' names are popping up here, and I just see Brian Fargo just pop up there. I'm like, Brian Fargo, that Brian Fargo? So I took a picture and I posted it on Twitter. I was like, is this you? Did you work on this game? And he's like, guilty as charged.
That's funny.
I thought that was funny. He's InXile is a really funny follow on Twitter. They like to keep up with their socials. Clockwork Revolution looks really good.
I am very intrigued by Clockwork Revolution.
But it would be fun to sit down and talk to, a lot of those. Like, is it Tim Kaine, right?
Yes,
I've heard that name. I don't know who it is though.
Yeah, Tim Kaine, one of the lead devs on the Fallout and all that.
Yeah, so he was part of that team. Brian Fargo, Tim Kaine.
Okay.
The current head of Obsidian, his name is like really weird. It's like Urquhart Farquhar or whatever it is. Like, I'm not even joking. He's got like some really Eastern European ass name. Like all those guys are like were the big brain trust behind Fallout. And obviously Brian Fargo went on to continue making Wasteland, which is basically more of an 80s like Fallout, because it's pretty fun. Like I like that game. A super deep amount of choices. But
you were pretty close. Fergus Urquhart. Yeah,
there you go. Like I said, it looks like just like you fell asleep on your keyboard and that's the name it came up with. That's his name.
So while pulling up Obsidian, I didn't realize, but I hear this name a lot. Chris Avalone.
Yep.
I know that. I hear that name a lot. So I know that he's pretty well liked by people.
I mean, they also have Josh Sawyer. He's still there. Josh Sawyer is really another good writer as well, who was like the lead writer of Fallout New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think also Tim Kaine is back working at Obsidian now. They actually just recently brought him back on.
Recently? Haven't specified what, but since they are confirmed that they are making a new Fallout Obsidian game, it could be that.
It most likely is that, especially because he's been talking about it on his YouTube channel. So
I've been hearing lots of rumors about a Fallout 3 remake and a new Vegas remake.
Well, it's not a rumor.
They're no longer rumors. Yeah, they confirmed
was
them
confirmed?
the other day.
Yeah.
Both of them?
Yeah,
both of them.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
I still haven't played New Vegas yet, but I have played Fallout 3, and I do plan to play New Vegas at some point. The remake's probably going to be out before I get to playing the original.
All I know is that they're bringing the band back together to do something, and I'm all for seeing what the old Gray Cox can do.
I'm gonna keep I'm keeping myself
temper your expectations.
Expectations to a minimum, because especially how their last few games were, how they weren't great. Like Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 aren't the greatest games. So and then Bethesda, of course, not having Starfield being a rough game and 76 being 76.
Ryan would be like, "Excuse me, sir," because he loves Fallout 76.
I will. There are things I will defend about 76, but I don't like the multiplayer aspect. That's the big reason why I don't like it.
Ryan doesn't either. He plays it entirely solo, and he likes it that way.
But yeah, that's how I got sunk hundreds of hours into 76 with solo runs, and but yeah, I think a lot of people, I would love to talk to the people of behind Fallout 1 and 2 specifically, because those are two of my favorite games in the franchise. It's just those
Ryan
two.
would love you. So
Yeah, I think for me, I'm not so worried. Avowed was just more like, yeah, I could see why this game wasn't that good, but I've heard nothing but great things from everyone who's played Outer Worlds 2. So I just know that it didn't sell. That's the only thing I know.
I've heard mostly negative things, but I've heard a few positive things about it.
I haven't heard any negative things.
I've heard more positive, just that it didn't really sell all that well. Is kind of what my understanding of it. But
yeah,
I do have Avowed and both Outer Worlds on my backlog. I'm going to play them at some point.
I got to play Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah.
I played Avowed, and I'm just like, I am not feeling this one. It just didn't feel that great. I commend them for trying to basically make their version of Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
But I could say, to be honest with you, I'm just like, I don't like playing it. I'd rather just play Skyrim. That's all I kept saying. Is like, I just rather play Skyrim.
That's totally fair.
And there's just nothing wrong with saying that. It's just like, sometimes when you are down on your luck, you go to the dollar store and you eat the, Captain Smackers because you can't get like Captain Crunch. But then you're like, I just want to eat
the off-brand type.
Yeah, I just want, I'll pay a little extra for the name brand. That's all.
So, and dude says Igarashi would be an interesting person to talk to. So that's also a good answer. So, all right. Where's my cursor? Where are you? There you go. All right. So, moving on to our next topic. So, as I mentioned, I just played through Halo Infinite and just started Halo Campaign Evolved. And, Campaign Evolved has been all over the internet lately, both positives and negatives. And, I haven't played it yet, so I can't really say. But the couple hours I played last night, not as bad as I was expecting. What else? I was just going to say something else about it, but I forgot. Anyways, a lot of Halo in the news lately, so I wanted to ask you guys what your favorite Halo is, and I didn't put this on the questions I sent out to you, but little surprise attack question on stream is of the ones that you've played, how would you rank the first person shooter Halos? So like Halo Wars doesn't count and the Halo Spartan Assaults and stuff, but of the primary, well, I wouldn't even say the primary games because I want to include like ODST and Reach, but of the first person shooter Halos, which is your favorite and how would you rank them?
Okay, the ranking one is going to be an interesting one.
So
again, I haven't played 5 or Infinite or even the Campaign Evolved, but I'm gonna be honest. Halo 3 is the easy answer for a favorite game. It is the easy answer.
It's in my top 10 games of all time.
The story, the action in the game, it's just damn near perfect all across the board.
Yep.
And I love it, dude. So I'll stick with the easy answer of Halo 3 as the top game.
Same here. That's my favorite Halo.
I would say then Halo 2, then Reach, then 1, then 4, which 4 is the only one who I get a lot more give a lot more criticism of. 1 and 2, like I think the 1, 2, and 3 are just like amazing trilogy. Amazing trilogy of games, and
can't argue with it.
I think Reach is great as well. But I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to rank them as like shooter games because like man, there's qualities each of them have that are good.
Yeah. So throwing a little curveball into the question. So yes, I'll go ahead and go next. So, yeah, same here. Halo 3 is my easy answer because it is also in my top 10 games of all time. Halo 3 is one of the best shooters ever made. I'd have to go look up top 5 shooters, but I would be blown away if I did not put that in my top 5 shooters of all time. But anyways, my ranking is probably going to be a little unorthodox. So I played all of them basically except for Halo Wars, but those aren't the first person shooters anyway, so those wouldn't even qualify for this one. So now, after having just beat Infinite, obviously I don't include Campaign Evolved because I haven't played through it in its entirety yet, so that one doesn't count. But
we got to put anniversary in here too, and the MCC. Jeez, Neil, what are you doing here?
Uh, so I was, yeah, you could throw those in, but I'm not including the. I'm just
I threw him off escape. You're fine.
you did. You threw me a curveball because I do have a ranking of all Halo games, and Master Chief Collection is number one. But if you were just to take the original releases of each game, so we'll put that as a little clarifier because that's kind of what I intended for this. So my ranking of the first-person shooter Halos of their original releases is Halo 3, Halo 1, ODST, Reach, Halo 2, Halo 4.
I forgot about ODST.
Halo Infinite, and then Halo 5. Oh, you forgot about ODST. So
I forgot about ODST.
All right, you need to rearrange your order then?
Your jazz soundtrack puts it over the edge for you, Nia?
Crap, yeah, man.
What was that,
I'll
Carl?
have to reevaluate it.
The jazz soundtrack put it over the edge for you.
Oh, the soundtrack of ODST. I think when we did when we did top 5 soundtracks, I ranked all of the ODST or I ranked all the Halo soundtracks. I think ODST was my number 2 behind Halo 1. I mean Halo 2, excuse me.
Right, oh man, soundtracks alone is that if we were doing soundtracks,
that's a completely
alone,
separate question.
That'd be freaking difficult for each of those games because they got good music.
All right, so since we're on the topic, I'm gonna pull it up here. Shooters. Wow, we did that last February. It's been like a year and a half. Wow, it does not seem like it's been that long. All right, Halo 2 was my number 2 when we did top 5 shooters. So, did I say Halo 2? Halo 3 was my number 2 in top 5 shooters. So, my number 1 was Doom Eternal. And then soundtracks. Let's see here. I think that was early on. We did that in like the first 10 episodes, didn't we? Where the hell is OST? Oh, yeah, we did that in episode 6. So Halo 2 was my number 4 OST of all time, but I ranked the soundtracks Halo 2, Halo 1, ODST, Halo 3, and then Reach. So that's my ranking of the Halo soundtracks. But yeah, Halo 2 soundtrack is freaking awesome. So anyways, Carl, what about you? Which one's your favorite Halo, and what is your ranking of the series?
Well, obviously, no surprise here, Halo 3. It's one of my top games of all time, and I always go on record and say it's the only example of a perfect video game.
I can't argue with that.
Neither can I.
Halo 2 would come up there. Halo 1. Halo Infinite would probably be up there for my top 4.
Okay.
I really did enjoy Halo Infinite a lot.
Me too.
ODST would round out that top 5. Reach would come up next. 4 and 5 would kind of follow up there.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, it'd kind of be like a tie for Halo 4 and Halo Reach because there's some things I like from both games, and there's a lot of things I don't like about those games.
Understandable.
It's pretty easy. It's just like I think we've always talked about this, Neo. I've a broken record here, but there's just something about you had to grow up and be there for both the launches of Halo 2 and Halo 3. It just
yeah,
hit
it was
very
something
differently. You know,
agreed.
It was something about American pop culture at that time. You know?
Oh yeah.
And Halo 3, I think, really revolutionized a lot of things, not just in video gaming, but also in social media and kind of multiplayer gaming and stuff. Probably not seen since like the invention of MMOs, you know? Just with the custom campaigns for custom forge mode, game types, sharing screenshots, video recording, kind of having like your little thing.
The theater mode they added in Halo 3?
Yeah, but Bungie really revolutionized a lot of things when it came to just not only like gaming, but like game sharing.
It's kind of surprising with Forge and theater mode like that didn't become like a commonplace in like every game. I still couldn't name like any other games that have done something like that since.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously, like I said,
not many games.
Yeah, it's just like, but Halo 2 was just revolutionary too for like a sequel. Like I said, just the marketing for it. We just did a Halo episode not that long ago, AC and me, where we actually did cover Bungie, and it was right up to the launch of Halo 2. And it's just bringing back a lot of memories. I think it had an insane attach rate too. Like 1/3 of every Xbox owner had a copy of Halo 2.
That's I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't higher than that.
But yeah, it's just really good. Obviously, Halo 1 have a lot of great memories of playing games with people that were my friends and stuff when we were in middle school. like I always share that one story. Me and my buddy Tanner going to the Indy 500 with our dads driving us, and we're in the back seat with a little CRT TV, eating fried chicken, playing Halo on the way to Indianapolis in a minivan.
I don't remember if I ever did that with Halo, but I do remember doing that with GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, man.
It's hard to beat nostalgia. It's like that's what it is. It's just those are just the classics. They're great. I could still go back and play them. And even like I said, Campaign Anniversary, Campaign Evolved. I get right back into it. I love it. It's still good. Obviously it's not as impressive as much as when I was in middle school, but 20 years separation. Things can change on you a little bit.
Yeah, Halo. I played a ton of Halo before Halo 2 came out, but I didn't actually own my own copy because I didn't actually own an Xbox until well after Halo 2 came out. But I think I got my Xbox slightly before Halo 2 came out because I remember going and picking up Halo 2 on launch night, and I got Halo 3 on launch as well. But Halo 2, I got it on launch time, but I don't think I played through it immediately, like that night. But Halo 3 and Halo Reach, I remember playing through those on launch night, like to completion.
Oh, I did too for Halo Reach because I actually went and got the limited edition 360. So I got off of work and I went straight to the nearest GameStop that was by my work. I worked nights at that time, so I just got off right before the midnight. And I remember I was like doing like 100 miles an hour home just to go and hook this up. I still have that 360 to this day. So
that's awesome. I don't have the 360, but I still got my Legendary Edition Master Chief helmets right there.
The only thing,
bro. I have a 360 right next to me. So
I was actually playing my 360 earlier today. I was actually going to mention that earlier when I was talking about AC/DC because the other thing, I got my Halos are all right there as well. The only one I don't have physically is Halo 5. But at the beginning, when I was talking about AC/DC, I forgot to mention the other thing that I played, and I just played a couple hours today. But I busted out my drums and booted up Rock Band 3, and I played the AC/DC songs because they had a track list, like a separate disc, like an expansion sort of. And so I played some AC/DC songs. I broke my drumstick playing Rock Band today. So,
wow.
Yeah, I actually broke it not while I was playing an AC/DC song. I was playing Blink 182, and at the end of the song, I'm like, wait, why am I missing half my stick? So, but yeah, lots of good memories with Halo. So, Tom Patriot, did you get after throwing the ODST thing in there, which you forgot? Did you figure out your reorder?
Yeah, I feel it feels like a little bit of a disrespect to ODST, which but I'm gonna
for shame.
I'm just gonna. I'm not trying to disrespect it. I love that game. I have a lot of love for it, but
I do too.
I'm gonna have to rank it above Halo 4, of course. And I really love all those games, but it's just hard because I don't want it's just great.
Sophie's choice. I can't pick my favorite child.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Halo 3 is my favorite.
After Halo 3. That's a given.
Okay, so pick the second favorite child and all that. So it's 3, 2, Reach, 1, then ODST, then 4.
Okay. All right. So, and Dudes chime in. His favorite is also Halo 3, and for campaigns, his order is Halo 1, then ODST, then 3, then Reach, then 2, then Infinite, then 4, then 5. Interesting. All right, multiplayer though, 3, then Reach, then Infinite, then 2, then 4, 2, then 5, then 4, then 1. Interesting, 1 at the bottom. For multiplayer, I would put 3 and then 1 because those were my favorite. My favorite memories in all of high school was Halo 1 multiplayer.
There's a lot of different ways you can rank the Halo games, man. Like there's a
campaigns,
lot of ways.
Multiplayer, OSTs, maps. There's so many ways you could rank them.
Forge alone, you could do Forge rankings and gosh, man,
game types.
Yeah.
One of my favorite game types was Griffball. I loved Griffball, and that came from Red
fun.
versus Blue, and I was a huge fan of Red versus Blue.
Oh yeah,
So, and he says Halo 2's campaign is low due to its bad balancing on Legendary, which I totally understand. That is part of why Halo 2 is like my least favorite of the original trilogy, and why it's my overall ranking. It's much lower than most people's. So, and he asks a very relevant question since I brought up GoldenEye. What N64 FPS do you prefer, GoldenEye or Perfect Dark? Did you ever even play Perfect Dark? Did we talk about this on Open Mic?
I have not played Perfect Dark, but I have played GoldenEye, so I would have to say GoldenEye.
All right. Well, doesn't count since you haven't played both.
Yeah.
But neither has Ryan. He's always shoving in my face that GoldenEye is better. And
it won Game of the Year, so there you go.
Oh, Perfect Dark won Game of the Year, saying GoldenEye did.
GoldenEye did, so there you go.
Okay. Well, I recently replayed through both of them on stream, and because I played GoldenEye and then immediately followed it up with Perfect Dark. And as I was playing through Perfect Dark, I was making a list, not like actually writing it down, but I was just pointing it out as I was playing. I was like, "Oh, this is another reason why Perfect Dark's better, and this is another reason why Perfect Dark's better." And afterwards, my buddy Lowest Expectations, he's like, "You should take that and make it into a video." So. Very soon in the next month or so, I'm going to put together a video because I don't really do videos. I just do streams. I think the last video I released on my channel was like over 2 years ago. So I'm going to put a video on all the reasons why Perfect Dark is better than GoldenEye. So
and then I'll make a reaction video to that, saying why you're wrong.
and then I'll make a reaction video to your reaction video.
So I'll be doing that soon. I'm looking forward to doing that because I was like, usually I just don't really have the desire to like make videos, but that's something I'm really passionate about. So I'm like, I'm gonna have fun making that one. So thanks to Lois for putting that idea in my head. So I'll be putting that out in the near future. So, and I want to hear someone say Turok one of these days. I did enjoy Turok, but it's definitely not better than GoldenEye Perfect Dark, not by a long shot.
Oh no, not better, but I enjoyed those games.
I only played the first one. I never played the second or third one, but I do own the Night Dive remasters, and I do plan to play through all three of those at some point.
I plan to do that as well. I just keep getting swallowed by stuff.
Yep. And I also plan to play all three of the N64 version for retro achievements as well. But all right. With that, we'll go ahead and move on to our next topic for tonight.
Hold on. I just want to show something off.
Oh, okay.
Another game I got.
Absolutely.
Which is Turok Evolution.
Evolution. I've heard of that game. Is that the one that everyone says is absolutely terrible?
Yes, but it's got a soft spot in my heart because
it's one of those like bad games that you love.
Yeah.
Okay, totally understand. I think we talked about that on Party Chat once. It was like, what's a bad game that you really enjoy? So,
One Piece World Seeker.
I'll have to go back and look because I can't think of off the top of my head. But yeah, I definitely have some games that I do enjoy that are not great. So
I think we all do.
All right. So next topic on the agenda for tonight is this came. The idea for this topic came because recently Xbox announced that they are releasing some original Xbox games. They're coming to PC. There are 4 of them. Let's see.
Conker's Bad Fur Day, Crimson Skies, Fusion Frenzy,
and I forget the 4th one.
And yeah, the 4th one was another. Did I say Conker?
You did say Conker.
Okay. Yeah, I forget the 4th one, but I remember the 4th.
I'll look it up here in a minute. But they're bringing 4 original Xbox games. I'm pretty sure they were already backwards compatible on Xbox, but they're bringing them to PC, which is cool. And in addition to that, in the near future, those 4 games are also going to be the very first original Xbox games that get achievements. So me being a big achievement hunter, I'm very excited for this. So it sparked the idea is like, what is a game that needs to be made backwards compatible on modern consoles? So that's where the inspiration for this one came from. And I'll go ahead and kick it off because I talk about this one, not like a lot, but I do bring it up fairly often because my answer is the one and only Xbox game that I own that I have no way to play because it's not backwards compatible. And that is The Matrix Path of Neo. It's the one here on the far left is the only original. Because I don't have my original Xbox anymore. I still have my 360. I have my original Xbox One. It doesn't work, but I do have my One X, which is right there. And then I have my Series X. So I basically have, except for the original Xbox, I have all the generations covered. But all the games that I have on Xbox are backwards compatible, except for Matrix Path of Neo, which was a good license game. Which I didn't think we did top 5 license game. I don't even know if I mentioned Path of Neo.
I wasn't even on that one. That was my idea.
It was your idea. Well,
Blank's the Time Sweeper. There you go. Never mind.
Yes, that's the fourth one, Blinks the Time Sweeper, which I've heard good things about, but I didn't even know that game existed until a couple years ago. But anyways, Path of Neo is the one game that I own for. I think it might be the only game I have that I don't have any hardware to play it on. So that was the first thing that pops into my head because I talk about it fairly often. So that is the one that I want to be made backwards compatible because it seems like Xbox is going to be expanding the backwards compatibility library, which is nice because they stopped doing that a couple of years ago. They're like, we don't have any future plans for it, but maybe it'll come back. And it sounds like it's coming back. So there's still hope that maybe that'll be made backwards compatible. So that was the first thing that came into my head on a game that I want to be made backwards compatible. So curious from you guys if you had, maybe since you're mostly a PC gamer, Patriot, maybe you don't even have an answer because a lot of PC games, the older ones, you can still play. You may have to figure out a way to get them to run. But do you have an older game?
I was gonna say there's
thank you, dude.
PlayStation games, but. I would say because I was trying to play Metro 2033 the other day.
Okay.
And that game just cannot run on Windows 11 without editing stuff or like getting mods and all that. But it's a pain to get to run. And I'm like, why don't you just port it to like a stable version of it to new consoles? Like technically just make stuff like that more compatible with newer generations of PC hardware.
Okay, but then again, I know on console, I played Metro the first two on my Series X because they have the Redux versions. I think the originals were on 360, but I don't know about the PC side of things.
And when it comes to PlayStation, there are a lot of games that are older games that you can stream, but if
they're not playing natively.
If you can be compatible, there is like it's a very bad game, but I love it. Rogue Warrior.
I've heard of that game.
It's a very cringy and bad game, but I have a lot of love for it. Not because
did Steven Seagal voice that game?
I don't think so. I
want to say it was some famous actor voice acted that game.
But I wouldn't be surprised. But
I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's one of those games where it's like I wish they could port it. The Infamous games.
Okay.
Being ported to a latest generation of PlayStation would be nice.
I've heard great things about those games.
Especially with the DLC for Infamous 2.
Oh yeah. But I'd say there's a lot of games that I wish were backwards compatible for newer consoles.
I was wrong about the actor, but I was right that it was an actor that voiced it. It was Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, Mickey Rourke. That's who it was.
So, yeah, okay, yeah. At some point there, because I've been an Xbox guy, never really had anything against PlayStation. Just I never had a PlayStation because it wasn't really much that interested me. But there are now a bunch of older PlayStation franchises I want to get into at some point, so I'm going to need to get one. And yeah, it's going to be really annoying because like some PlayStations play some previous console generations and others don't, so it's going to be a bit of a hassle. So I totally understand. Infamous, those are one of those games that I do want to go and play those at some point.
The Army of Two games as well. I think those are
I didn't
really
play the second or third one, but I did play the first one. I even though I played it the first time with the AI, the AI teammate, which everyone, when that game was new, everyone's like, "Oh, the AI teammate is terrible." I didn't think it was that bad, but I still enjoyed the game, and I played through it in co-op since with an actual person. That was a lot of fun. And the whole aggro system in that game, I've never seen any other game do that.
I think the first one is backwards compatible. I think the other two aren't.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I will double check.
No, I think the first one is, but 40th Day and Devil's Cartel are not.
That's weird.
Sounds about right.
They got like all the Call of Juarez games, but it's like we got one Army of Two games. It's like what is with this inconsistency here, guys?
Yes, you are correct. The first one, at least on Xbox, the first one is backwards compatible, with the other two are not.
Yeah.
So, all right. Oh, some good picks. I do have one more to mention, but I'll go ahead and ask.
Go ahead and mention it then.
This one would be kind of. I was thinking about it after I wrote it down. I was like, this one would kind of be a cheat because it wasn't. Well, I mean, it was a disc-based game, but the current console is not a disc-based game, so it would have to be like a port or a remaster. And that is, I mentioned earlier, my favorite Zelda game recently it was Ocarina of Time, but now it's Twilight Princess. And Twilight Princess was there was an HD version on Wii U, which no one had, including myself. But everyone's like, give us Twilight Princess HD on Switch. So that's what is the other one. Is I want Twilight Princess on Switch, ideally with better. Doesn't have to have like better graphics, but just like higher resolution, better frame rates. Is basically all I want. So like a remaster of it, essentially, not a remake. So that would be my other one, but that'd be a little
Super Mario Sunshine would also be a great game to be on Switch.
Okay,
it is.
I have that in the backlog. I haven't played
Is it on
yet.
Switch?
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that. Are you talking about on the? You're not talking about the NSO, right? The GameCube versions of NSO?
No, they did that collection with 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought that was a limited edition thing. That like
it was, but technically, yes, it is on Switch.
Okay.
They just need to, not put it behind a retarded timed release thing because Nintendo is so freaking stupid about that crap.
But they also did just bring it to NSO as well.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Because I actually just looked that up like an hour ago. I was like, I know they brought GameCube to the NSO, but I looked it up. There's only 9 games.
They announced it last week.
And Metroid Prime is not one of them, which is a sin.
Yeah, they got the remaster.
Yeah. But yeah, the remaster, because if it wasn't for the remaster, that was the other thing I said. Metroid Prime 2 remaster is also one that I want because I love, Metroid is my second favorite franchise behind Mass Effect, and Metroid Prime Remastered is my favorite Metroid game and also in my top 3 games of all time. But I love Metroid Prime 2, but it's because Metroid Prime 1 got remastered. It's in my top. If Metroid Prime 2 got a remaster, it would probably take Metroid Prime Remastered spot in my top 3 games. So that's the other one that I want is Metroid Prime 2 Remastered. So what about you, Carl? What's the game that you want brought to modern?
I would like to go and get a lot of the bigger OG Xbox library and PS2 stuff like kind of brought forward, especially all these fun license games. One of them I shared in my video I put out today, not yet today, on Monday. But one I always bring up all the time, especially because we're getting towards spooky season.
I think I know what you're about to say.
Yes, Oogie Boogie's Revenge.
Yep, that's what I thought you were going to say.
For the good old PS2 and the original Xbox. Like I always tell people, if you want the sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas, good news. It was made by Capcom, and it was a Devil May Cry clone.
Have you played it yet?
I played it a long time ago when I was a kid, but I got it
again recently.
I want to redo it recently, but when I'm waiting for more October to come around. But I love all these kind of fun license games. One of them I would love to see is also the Van Helsing license game, which is also another Devil May Cry clone.
Yeah, I remember a year or so ago you were gonna play it on stream, and then you figured like something happened that you didn't realize, and you weren't able to do it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Another good license game, the Ghost Rider game that came out on PS2.
Yep,
that one is that one it would be fun.
A lot of these fun Marvel games like Captain America and Thor would be fun to kind of bring forward as well.
I know Ryan loves that Captain America game.
Well, especially because now it looks like they've been trying to work with ABK, but to try to like work out some licenses, but all like the Transformer games, obviously a lot of the Marvel
Cybertron games. I've heard those are great.
Yeah, the Cybertron games are great. I actually just played them again recent last year. You know what else is really good? That the Platinum one, Devastator.
Okay,
I actually started playing that one recently, and that one was really good. But I said I'm not going to play it on PlayStation anymore because that controller hurts my hands when I play those action games. So I don't know. It's carpal tunnel. I think I'm just getting too old. But Jaws Unleashed would be another fun one to bring forward.
A Jaws game?
Yes, where you play as the Jaws.
What was this? What was Jaws Unleashed on? Was that also Xbox?
It was Xbox, PlayStation 2, and I think GameCube. It's one of those weird license games from that generation where you actually played as like the Jaws shark, and you would just mess up and hop on a beach and maul some people, and you gotta quickly get back to the beach. Have you ever played Maneater?
Oh, I did play Maneater.
It's like an older Maneater.
Yeah, it was like Maneater is a spiritual successor to that game. That's what I like to say.
Jaws Unleashed on PS2 has retro achievements, by the way.
And of course, Hulk Ultimate Destruction, the prequel. I like to say.
I need to play that one. I've heard so many good things about it. And I think it's the same team that made Prototype, which I was a huge fan of.
That's why I say it's a prequel to Prototype. That's what it is.
I love that. And everyone's like, "Oh, you like Prototype? You got to play Hulk Ultimate Destruction." I will play it at some point.
Yeah, but I also kind of go back, like I said, technically you could still play God Hand more or less on your PS3, so they kind of did bring that forward. But I want to see games like Beautiful Joe brought forward. It would be great to see games, especially if we're talking about Sega, just going back into their IP vault. A lot of great games trapped onto Sega Saturn that I wish they would kind of just figure out a way to bring forward, like Burning Rangers and all the JRPGs that were kind of left over in Japan, especially because I think it was called Shining something. I can't remember the name off of this one. Yeah, Shining Force. That's it.
Oh.
So there's a great Shining Force game that was made for the Sega Saturn that we technically only got part 1 for. And then Japan got part 2 and part 3.
Oh, okay.
So it would be nice, especially because a lot of people didn't get to play these games on a Sega Saturn because, it was a Sega Saturn.
Gone too soon. Speaking of Michael Jackson, that's Michael Jackson.
But I would like to see more of those collections, especially from Sega. They really do a lot of great collection stuff. A lot of the Japanese devs have been doing a good job of collections,
Mm-hmm.
One of them...
Go ahead. I was just going to say, my gripe with Capcom is that they've been doing a lot of collections. The one thing that still pisses me off because I'm a big Mega Man fan, they've done all the collections have released on Xbox except the Mega Man, the Battle Network collection came to everything except for Xbox, and I'm really pissed about that.
Well, you know what? How about you be a Mega Man Legends fan, and then you can talk to me about pain and suffering. How's that sound?
I do plan to play those at some point. And
if you want to borrow them, I'll let you borrow them. You can stream them, and then you can realize how janky the PS1 was when you didn't have the DualShock controller.
I might stream them because I do plan on playing for retro achievements at some point.
You gotta play Tron Bond.
That I'll do that one as well.
You gotta play it on the Vita and figure out how to stream it. No, but yeah, those are. There's so many great games out there that, like I said, you could probably go on for hours and hours. Mostly, I just would say a lot of games that are super expensive to collect physically. I would like to see kind of brought forward, like Kuon, Hell Report Michigan, which does not take place in Michigan at all.
Never heard of it.
It's a Suda51 game with vagina monsters, and it's like done from a first. I'm not kidding about that, by the way.
I didn't think that you were.
But it's called Hell Report Michigan, and the Michigan stands for Michigan Avenue in Chicago. That's why it's so misleading.
Okay, that's a little confusing, but okay.
I know. It's like games that are like super expensive like that, just to kind of bring down the secondary market, just purely off of me wanting to buy them for my collection cheaper.
That's totally understandable. Yeah, I haven't really gotten into the retro collecting yet, but I know at some point it's going to be like, geez, that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. Don't ever collect for Sega Saturn.
I don't plan to, because I only played it like once. But, all right. Dude said, I think he was referring to Metro, saying, I bet it works better on Linux than Windows 11, thanks to Valve. And something about it took the final rollout to get us the Fear series. I don't know exactly what he was referring to in that.
The last backwards compatible.
Oh, the last back compat rollout before they stopped doing them, and they added the Fear games. I've heard those are great. I did play the demo of one of them way back in the day. I'm like, nope, this is not for me. But I've heard they're good if you like spooky stuff, and that's not me. So, all right. Hey, and Matt Black Studios is in chat again. He was
what's up, buddy?
He was in my chat last night while I was for Metroidvania Monday because I just did the Lucid demo. He's the developer of Lucid, and I can't wait to play that game because I freaking loved the demo a lot. So good to see you, Matt Black. And he'll be on Open Mic in a couple, I think, next week. In the near future. I'm looking forward to chatting with him. So go give Lucid a look. It is a very precision platformer Metroidvania, and it is fantastic. So little shout out to Lucid. So and dude says, would you rather collect for the Neo Geo or the Sega Saturn? That is a great question.
Sega Saturn.
Sega Saturn.
I could give a two craps less about the Neo Geo.
You don't care about the Neo Geo.
I mean, I would collect for the Neo Geo Pocket. I guess that sounds fun. It's more so. The oldest system I want to collect for is like the PS1.
Okay.
And the only reason I want to do that is because I don't. Well, yeah, no, I don't have any attachment to the older consoles. My brother, he's 20 years older than me, so I did have a NES and we did have an Atari, but I just never had the same feelings as like my N64 and my PS1 as a kid.
Understandable. All right. Well, any last thoughts on games that you want to make back compat?
Too many.
I was gonna say there's too many to.
There are a lot. All right, so we'll go on to our next topic, and let's see here. We had I did a similar topic to this way back in the early days of Party Chat, and that was what's a game that you would recommend to someone to get them into your favorite genre? So I like, what, I can make that a little more broader. And so I thought, let's make that a Party Chat topic. And that is, what is a game you would recommend just to get a normie who doesn't really play games into gaming? And you suggest to them to try to make them become a gamer.
Oh, this is easy.
Okay. So, Carl, it sounds like you're all ready and raring to go on this one. So what's a game you'd recommend to get a normie into gaming?
Walking Dead Season 1.
Ah, okay. I did think about those the Telltale games because
pretty much any of the older Telltale games, the Jurassic Park one, Back to the Future.
I like Back to the Future a lot.
All those ones are pretty great. Even Tales from the Borderlands.
That was the first Telltale game I played. Yeah,
I think those are a good kind of easy one. You kind of go like, oh, look, it's an IP that you're kind of familiar with. Like everyone remembers the mid-2000s Walking Dead craze where some episodes were beating out Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football. Sorry.
So I played the Walking Dead games for Telltale. I've never actually seen the show.
Yeah, I've read the comics before the show.
I've seen the first 3 seasons of the show, so.
Yeah, my mom and my sister were like obsessed with it. And
didn't that show go on like forever?
I think it's still going.
It's still technically going on as spin-offs. Shows.
Spin-offs. I just meant the original
series. The main show is gone. They finished that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did think about that because that, for me, I was like, I don't want something that's like too difficult. So something, fairly easy. So yeah, that's a great one because the gameplay in those are very minimal. It's very story-based. It's all just making decisions essentially and seeing how they play out. So I did think about that, but I didn't go with that. But that's a great one. Yeah, so basically any of the Telltale stuff, the choose your own adventures.
I feel like for me it's because I married a non-gaming wife, and I've slowly been turning her into a gamer.
Nice.
So she kind of loves those like Animal Crossing type games. So
it's funny you mentioned that because in chat that's exactly what
I literally just saw that.
He said Animal Crossing.
But I always joke about that as like games my wife would play. So like a new one, I guess, would be a really good one actually. If you wanted to get a new one to one of those gamers, Pokopia that just came out this year, which is
everyone's been raving about that.
My wife is obsessed with that game. Like loves it.
I don't like those Animal Crossing type games, and I don't like Pokemon that much, so I don't really have any interest in it. But I know it's been doing gangbusters.
Yeah, my wife is obsessed with it. She does like the happy look. It's a cute Pokemon. I'm like, that's great, dear. I'm going back to sleep now. But like,
that's a great answer as well.
That's a great one. And my ultimate go-to one, Dave the Diver.
Okay,
Dave the Diver is like probably the best game I could recommend if you want to try to get like a person who doesn't know anything really about gaming, but wants to experience probably every type of video game genre in one. Dave the Diver would probably be a good kind of mini go-to kind of because
give you a lot of different appetizers to sate your palate.
Yeah, because like what? I'll save this one as a foreshadowing, but I have a good one for one of your later topics. But basically, it does everything so well, but it's not too deep or too hard, and it's just really enjoyable. Plus, on top of that, too, why I would recommend Dave the Diver, you can easily put it down and pick it up and put it down.
Especially in short bursts.
Because there's so many people that have families and time constraints that is probably why I would say Dave the Diver is one of the best ones.
That's also a great pick. So.
Yeah. So those would be like the three I would kind of recommend: Telltale series, farming sims, and of course Dave the Diver, which combines a lot of everything.
Good pick. Oh, and I forgot to, because when you were talking about the Mega Man Legends, Matt Black said, "Get him off the moon," because I know everyone's like, "Give us the Mega Man Legends 3 so we can see what happens at the end of that." So I forgot to mention that.
Just port Tronbon. That's the best one. Let's commit crimes.
Those are some good picks. Definitely some good choices. What about you, Patriot? Do you have a game in mind or a couple games?
I'd say like any simulator game, like because there's some games. I know some of them are more complex than others, but like there's like Supermarket Simulator or
would you go more of the route of the realistic simulators or like the goofy simulators?
I would say because a lot of the real ones are kind of like overwhelming, especially later game. I would say more goofier ones, but there's also one which is Retro Rewind, which is a video store simulator. It's very simple,
blockbuster simulator,
pretty much. But stuff like that, very simple. Get people into games.
I don't know that I've done many simulator games, but I did have a lot of fun with Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator, that's a wild one.
That one's goofy.
Yeah, but because of Carl pointing this out, I would also recommend Sims because that's an easy one to get into because it's really just take care of your family.
I've known a few women who are not gamers that like The Sims, so
yeah. I played it because my mother was obsessed with it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it out. And then I was like, oh, okay.
I get the appeal.
I played a bit of it. I like building stuff in that game. I really do. I like building houses and all that. That's mainly what I focus on the game in. But
I never got into the Sims, but I played original Sim City way back in the day. Sim City 2000 and Sim City 3000. Sim Tower. I had Sim Ant and I think Sim Earth and Sim Mars. I never actually played those ones. My favorite was Simcopter. I played the crap out of that when I was a kid. I loved Simcopter.
There's a lot of those like town builder games you can look at, like Sim City or Anon, where you like settlement resources and stuff like that. Civilization is another good one that you could probably throw out to people.
City Skylines is kind of taking the mantle of Sim City since they've kind of dropped the ball from what I hear.
I heard City Skylines also dropped the ball. So
did they?
That's why I heard the last one was like not good.
Oh,
there is also technically the Jurassic Park Evolution games, which are kind of taking the zeitgeist of simulator of
like Zoo Tycoon, but with dinosaurs.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, in those ones, you can the dinosaurs can break out of their enclosures and chaos can rise there, but
they can, or it's like if you're playing correctly, wink, wink. They will.
Okay. Well, they can if you're irresponsible with how you play things, and if you're not
irresponsible.
Oh yeah, no, like you can easily intentionally do it. You can.
The dinosaurs got out. Yeah. Whatever shall we do?
But it's like the ride never ends.
Yeah, but like they can break through the fences and all that if there's no power to them or if anything happens. It's very fun.
Okay. So for me, it's like I wanted something that's not too terribly difficult. And I was like, definitely not something first person because dealing with the X, Y, and Z axis. What's that?
Oh, Helldivers 2.
Something,
Roll a bit to think of it.
Actually, not necessarily just first person, but something with in 3D because it can be difficult for people who aren't gamers to kind of really grasp the controlling a character in 3 dimensions and stuff. So I wanted to keep it something simple. So I was like, let's keep it as something 2D. And something that you're not really going to get lost. So you have to wander around trying to figure out what to do. So like one of the first things that popped into my mind is like, a Mario game, but some of the Mario games, are really difficult. So probably of the earlier ones, I'd probably say Super Mario World, because that's the most friendly one. Because I've been replaying through the Mario games. Actually, one of the other things I didn't mention when we were talking about games that we've been playing recently is I did just start playing Super Mario World a couple days ago for the first time. And last time I probably played it was probably about 15 years ago. But that was the very first game I ever owned. But I played through. My plan was to play through basically all of the Mario games in order, which I skipped 2 because I hate it, and 3 I don't hate 3. I did beat 1, and then I moved on to 2, and then I just really don't like 2. I got through most of 3, but I just kind of fell off because it's tricky. So I was like, I'm looking forward to playing Super Mario World. So I've been enjoying replaying Mario World. So of the Mario games, that'd probably be the one I would pick is Super Mario World. I was always more partial to the Donkey Kong games, so I'd probably pick one of the Donkey Kong Country games over any of the Mario games from that era.
Country's great.
Platformers in general.
Yeah, so if it was just going to go like a strictly platformer, I'd pick one of the Donkey Kong Country games. But me being a huge Metroidvania enthusiast, that's, I'm always going to be partial to Metroidvanias. So not necessarily back from that era, but my all-time favorite Metroidvania of all time, my second favorite game of all time is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And I was thinking, because those are 2D games and it's not too much to understand, but I was trying to think of which one would I recommend to a normie. The first one, because there's not as much to there's not as many systems in the game, but it's a much more difficult game because there's so many like one-hit kills and stuff in that game. So Will of the Wisp, I think, is a better balanced game, but there's a lot more systems and like picking like your build. So I'm not sure which of those I would pick, but if I had to, I'd probably say Will of the Wisps. But when I came down to it, my final answer, being a 2D and a Metroidvania, as going back to the Metroid series, so the one that I went with is actually Metroid Fusion. That would be the one that I would recommend because it's a 2D platformer. It's not difficult to understand. It's not too terribly difficult. And the game, you basically always have a point on your map telling you where to go. So it's very handholdy, which is a lot of people's biggest gripe with the game, is it's too linear. But I think for a normie, like, that is perfect. So you're never going to be lost because you always know where your next objective is. So that's what I went with, is Metroid Fusion would be a great one because it's not too terribly difficult and you always know where to go. And it's got a really good rate at like progression. So you're always getting more stuff and you feel like you're getting stronger, and it's got a great gameplay loop. So that was my answer, was Metroid Fusion. So, any other games come to mind that you want to?
Not right now.
Okay.
Yeah, not right now. I'm not thinking of anything off the top of my head. I'd say you guys hit the nail on the head with the games.
So, and a dude says, "Nah, her first game needs to be Dark Souls."
Yes.
No, I would never recommend that.
Elden Ring, just throw them in.
I would definitely recommend Elden Ring over Dark Souls, but definitely neither to a normie.
I would actually recommend. I just realized I would recommend arcade racing game. So those are very simple controls.
Okay,
and really any arcade racer game, but like they're very simple. You click one button, you drive, and
do you have one in mind?
Well, it's one I've been playing a lot recently, which is Asphalt Legends. It is a newer arcade racer, but
I haven't played it, but I know of it.
Yeah, it was a mobile game, but it's on PC, and it's actually it's when you're using it with controller, it's fun. It's so fun.
I got one that I just picked up actually.
An arcade racer.
Try out. Yeah, this one, Screamers.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's kind of got like that old school like Ridge Racer feel. I heard someone talked about it with like a weird anime kind of style story. So I've been looking at this one for a while, and I actually just picked it up. So hopefully, after I get done with, I believe, my fill of Beast of Reincarnation, I'm thinking about playing this one next, or we'll see. But yeah, this is another one of those fun arcade racers to put out there.
Okay. Yeah, because when the first thing that popped into my head is what dude just said, Cruising USA, old classic arcade racer. You could also basically pick any of the Mario Karts. Probably my favorite arcade racer was probably Split Second. That game was freaking awesome. And if you haven't played it, I definitely recommend it because it was like Michael Bay, the racing game, because everything's blowing up and shifting tracks. So you can like trigger explosions that wipe out other racers, and it actually changes the entire track. It was a really cool game.
Yeah.
And Jude's asking, is that a Yeast Memories of Celceta Collector's Edition? I see.
It's not a collector's edition. It's a day one edition.
But it is the Memories of Celceta. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the Switch copy. I have the Vita copy somewhere hidden away in this wall of boxes in my room.
All right. Well.
Wait.
Oh.
No, you're fine.
Okay. We'll move on to our final topic for tonight, and that as this.
No, I got a better one for you, Neo. Here.
Oh.
Yes, I was thinking about this earlier.
You have a surprise topic for us?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to say it earlier, but I figured I would throw this one in right at the end.
Okay, surprise topic. This is the first time this is happening.
So recently there were reports right now that due to people associating the new Odyssey movie, that people have been going back and playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey and giving it a second life.
Okay.
Has there ever been a movie that any of you have watched where you went home and you're like, you know what? I'm going to play a video game because it puts you in that mood?
Oh, man. That is a great question. I hate being put on the spot, especially for great questions.
I would say when I watched freaking Starship Troopers, it made me want to go play games like Halo and Helldivers and yeah, I would say specifically that would like gets me into specific games.
I feel like for me, and I'll kind of give you a little bit of time here, Neo, as I filibuster. But every time I start watching, a historical documentary or something like that about Roman Empire, Greek, or even Alexander the Great, I always want to go home and just fire up either Age of Empires or Rome Total War or one of those type of games out there, just so I can relive my fantasy of I am the general.
I've not played Son of Rome.
Rise Son of Rome, great game.
Rise Son of Rome.
That's in my backlog. I have not played it.
I want to play it.
I'm looking forward to it.
I want to play it because it looks so fun. And that as soon as you said Rome, that was the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, "Ooh, I need to play that one."
Rise Son of Rome is what I like to call a spectacle game, and what I mean by that is that you go into it looking to have a theatrical, spectacular moment. There's a lot of great cinematography in that game. It was built more with obviously the Kinect in mind, so you could tell that it hampered the game. But that game gained I think it's like at a 60 on Metacritic. I understand why people might have been down on it, but it is just a fun spectacle game. It's not going to blow you away and be like, oh my God, this is like the greatest game that's like going to happen. But you just sit there and you go like, damn, like this and like 1880, the Order 1886 are just like some of those games that you play. And you're like, these are great, fun titles. Would I want to pay $60 for them brand new? No. But did I pay like $5 for them on an Xbox sale and have like probably one of the most bang for my buck for $5? Hell yeah. It's just like, it's one of those games out there that you play and you're like, ooh, I'm just having a great grand old time. And I know it's on PC as well.
Yeah. I just saw the Matt Black's studio comment about how Alita Battle Angel made him want to go play Deus Ex Mankind Divided. That's a good game.
I can never remember which one. Human Revolution was the 360 one. Mankind Divided was the Xbox One, right? Yes. I played Human Revolution. I have Mankind Divided, but I haven't played it yet. But I have seen Alita Battle Angel.
I have not seen Alita Battle Angel yet. The movie, yeah.
I don't watch movies, so
yeah.
So yeah, Human Revolution is the Xbox One. The Mankind Divided is the latest
360, or that's the latest one.
Yeah.
I think you messed that up. The 360 and PS3. That's what I think you meant.
Yes,
yeah.
That's
okay.
I had the Windows effect going off in my head here. Like,
I didn't. I think we all. I was like, wait a minute, did I say that right?
I don't think that's right.
It's like I was buffering for a second there. Like,
exactly.
Wait, am I wrong? Am I crazy? It's a scene from Wet Hot American Summer. Am I retarded?
Oh, is that what that clip is from?
Yeah, I believe so. I could be wrong.
I've seen that clip, but I've never seen the movie it came from.
You never seen Wet Hot American Summer?
I have not.
Oh my god, you gotta watch it. That is one of the funniest movies to watch, dude.
Oh,
I'm not.
That's two movies I
heard
know
of
about
that
that
movie?
movie. Two.
I think I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. I have no idea when it came out, who's in it. I know
You
nothing
definitely
about
have had to have heard about it. It's got a lot of famous comedy actors in it too.
This was like back. Was this like from the 80s?
No.
Okay. Well, to answer your surprise question, I'm going to go through and I'm going to come up with a. I'm going to go look through like everything I played, and I'll have a more definitive answer on our next party chat. But just off the top of my head, the first thing that popped into my head was actually the opposite of what you asked. Was there a game that made you want to go watch a movie? And there, I don't remember which one it was. It's one of the Modern Warfare's. Took a scene right out of the movie The Rock, and I'm like, I want to go watch The Rock now. Because you come up into the showers from the sewers and you're getting shot at by a bunch of guys who are up on a ledge.
I think that's Modern Warfare 2.
Is that Modern Warfare 2? I was like, I don't know which one it was.
I think it is.
Playing that level, I'm like, I need to go watch The Rock now. So that was the first thing that popped into my head. Easy answer that we talked about earlier is watching GoldenEye made me want to play GoldenEye back in the day. I don't know that it's happened anytime recently. But also watching, I said I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so watching any of the Star Wars movies makes me want to go and play, in my opinion, the best Star Wars game ever made, which is Star Wars Jedi Academy, because that has the best lightsaber combat and force power usage of any Star Wars game. So those are the ones off the top of my head where a movie made me want to go play a game. But I'm sure there's probably more, but I need to go through, basically look through all the games and see if there's anything that like, oh yeah, I wanted to play this because I saw a movie that made me think of something.
There is a show I'm watching actually, and it's a show that Sophie, who was in chat earlier, she recommended I watch. It's a Argentinian show called The Eternaut, and it's. When I started watching it, it heavily reminded me of Metro, which is wanting me to go back and play the Metro games.
Okay,
I love those games.
Yeah, I liked Metro. I actually played them in the wrong order. I played Last Light first, and then I played 2033. And the reason was because they left Game Pass in the wrong order. So I played Last Light before it left Game Pass, and then I played 2033 before it left Game Pass. And I liked them more than I was expecting I would like them, but I wasn't a huge fan of them. And so that's why before Exodus left Game Pass, I didn't even bother playing it. But I may play it so I can finish off the trilogy at some point. I just
one of my favorite.
I haven't decided yet.
One of my favorite mechanics in the Metro games is the fact that like you can shoot out lights or turn them off and all that. You can go completely dark stealth mode, and it's fun.
So, yeah, that is a great question. I just hate great questions like this being sprung on me. And it's like, that's why I like having the questions ahead of time so I can prepare my answers. So I am going to go through and, like I said, those are the ones that just come to me off the top of my head, but I'm going to go through everything and I will get a more definitive answer for this question for our next party chat for sure.
Yeah. Matt Black, you said Wet Hot American Summer was 2001. Yeah, I believe it just had their 25th anniversary of it. Because it had like Amy Poehler and everyone in it too.
2001. Okay. So it is a bit of an older movie.
Yeah.
So, okay. And you said after watching the Fate series, I wanted to play the Fate games. Never heard of the series or those games before, so I don't even know what those are.
Is that like the anime Fate or
probably?
Or
I know dude's
like,
into a lot of anime, so it's probably that's what he's.
I'm aware of this, but I'm not, knowledgeable on it.
So well, the Fate games I'm thinking of are the early 2000s freaking like top-down point and click games that you dungeon crawler games.
I think they're a little different now. I think they're based off of anime, if I recall. Like I said,
if it's the anime one, then I'm not thinking the right one, the same one.
Yeah, it's more of an anime one.
So
I see it, but I have no idea about it. It's one of my blind spots.
It says Fate is an anime, so yeah, I figured that was probably the case because he knows a lot of anime, and I don't know very much about anime at all. So
Pokemon. That's all you need to know, right?
I do know of Pokemon.
Pokemon, Sailor Moon, you're good. Dragon Ball Z. You hang out with a Mexican, you know what Dragon Ball Z is, right?
It's like I know of DBZ and I know of Sailor Moon. The only DBZ I've ever actually seen was Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which
I thought you were
was
gonna say
hilarious.
Evolution. I was like,
Abridged.
what's wrong
Oh,
with you?
DBZ Abridged was hilarious, and I only watched it because my friends watched it.
Yeah.
But
Well, you know anime, you know Yu-Gi-Oh. There you go.
I did watch a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, and I watched Yu-Gi-Oh Abridged, which is what got me into DBZ Abridged. But Yu-Gi-Oh Abridged was freaking hysterical. I love Yu-Gi-Oh Abridged.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll continue doing research. And I'll have a more definitive answer for you for next party chat since you sprung it on me. But
You better.
that's an excellent question, and maybe we need to do the opposite at some point too. I'm gonna actually write that down, and I'll credit you. So, all right, now
No, slapping.
on to our final topic for tonight, and this is probably going to be the last one in this series because, as you may know, anyone who's been around for any of the party chats, the last question we always talk about is our favorite game from a certain year. We just go down the line, and we're at 2025. So the next party chat will be 2026. 2026 is not over yet. So we will do favorite games of 2026 probably sometime next year. But I have a bunch of ideas for a series of questions to ask at the end of each party chat going forward. But for now, this is going to be the last one because we started at 1990 and we did one every year on party chat. So we're all the way basically to current day. So, but anyways, if you had to pick one favorite game from 2025, what would it be? We're going to go around. And then after we pick our favorite game from 2025, we'll talk about other games that came out last year that we were a big fan of. So, Carl, I'm pretty sure I know what your answer is.
I think you should.
And I think it might be my answer as well. But go
interesting.
ahead and tell me what your favorite game of last year was.
Well, if you think that's the case, why don't we start with our guest here? Then,
Oh, that's actually a good idea. So, Patriot, did you what I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but we're not looking down on you if you didn't, because a lot of times people don't even play a lot of modern games. Which last year was the first time I played a single game that came out in the year it released in probably like the last 5 years. So if you haven't played any from 2025, that's perfectly fine. But did you play any 2025 games? If you have a favorite,
only played like 3 of them, and 2 of them are friend swap games, Schedule 1 and 3 of them actually. Peak, Schedule 1, and Repo are 3 of them I played.
Okay.
Those are strictly multiplayer. But if we're going for one that is not, then Dispatch, that superhero game that came out.
I've heard
because I haven't played mini. I need to play Clair Obscur, which I have not played yet. But the only one I have played as of right now is Dispatch, and I really enjoyed that one. I love the superhero aspect of that. It's fun. It is much like Telltale games, but it's nice.
I've heard nothing but good things about it, and actually
It's
just
fun.
finally launched on Xbox like last week. So I do plan to play it at some point.
Dispatch is also made up of a bunch of former Telltale devs.
It is.
That makes a lot of sense. So, all right. Of the friend slot games, which one was your favorite?
I would say Repo. I've had the most hours in that game because
the drug simulator one, right? No, that's Schedule 1.
No, that's
What's
Schedule
Repo?
1. Repo is one where you are like those little robots where you are going down, picking up valuables, and bringing them back to your your ship, extracting, while you have to hide from monsters. But it's also
I've heard of Repo. I'm not sure I've actually seen any gameplay of Repo. I'm not sure I'd recognize it if I even saw it.
It's a fun game to sit down and play because like it has a proximity chat, so you could hear like your friend being taken out by a monster and just a faint scream or stuff like that, and it's a fun game. It's stupid fun.
That does sound like fun. Yeah, it's like all those friend slot games do look like a lot of fun. It's just like I don't really have time for that. So I've got all these other single player games I want to get through. So all right. Dude says he's been trying to get me to watch Ghost in the Shell. I will do it eventually. And Ariel's here. What's up, Ariel? It's been a little while, but good to see you. Probably because I've been offline for the most part for the last couple months, but I am back. And Mario would have defeated the other two. Come on, man. Half-assed in a Mario cap because you're a closet Mario. I'm assuming you're going to say Mario fan. Because, I'm not huge on the Mario franchise. But, and Dude's coming in and says his favorite from last year was Doom Dark Ages. That would probably be my answer, but I haven't played it yet. So I'm looking forward to playing it at some point.
It was good.
I have a little bit of... I can't get into that game. I've tried. I've tried to get into the Dark Ages. I just can't get into it.
I had a lot of fun with the shield throwing and stuff like that. That's where I kind of got into it a lot more. D- Eternal's still my favorite, but that's just because I like the high octane fighting. You
I
know,
don't think it's going to supplant Doom Eternal for me, but
I love the 2016 Doom. Out of all the three I've played, I have the most fun with 2016.
16 was like a
Excellent
brawling
game.
kind of game. That's the way I kind of look at it. But like how I always describe it to people, 2016 is more like a brawler, and then Eternal's definitely more of a in your face kind of point fighting game, and Dark Ages is basically an old school tank kind of game. If
Yeah.
your Slayer feels like he's more grounded into that game and moves like an old PS1 kind of tank kind of game.
He moves like the original Doom. Like you don't get the freaking high speed. You can launch around and all that.
Yeah, like I just like something like Eternal's murder puzzle is what I like to call it, where you have to figure out which enemies you have to kill first and kind of work around it. It just was so much more fun for me than the other two. But that's that's just me. I think it comes down to is like, could you beat the Marauder or could you not beat the Marauder? Is where your enjoyment was also covered on.
Yep. So, and dude also says the company boys played a ton of Repo. So, all right. So, let's see here. I wrote for favorite games of 2025. I wrote down, I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games that I really enjoyed.
Impressive.
Let's see. Yeah. One of them I have way more hours in than all the others, but I don't think it was my favorite. So, yeah. Carl, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what our favorite game was from last year? At least I'm assuming that's the case.
Oh, my game of the year last year was Split Fiction.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say. So we played that together. That was a lot of fun. That game was excellent.
Like another thing,
that's the one where it's those two women who are like authors, and they're like kind of
they go into a fantasy that basically takes them into their stories and switches back and forth between sci-fi and fantasy. It was excellent.
I want to play that one.
It's one of the best games I think I've played in a very long time. Joseph Ferris is another guy I would like to hang out with. I should have.
Oh, that's a.
I was thinking. I just dawned on me now. It's like Joseph Ferris. That guy is just a ball of energy. He's got
a lot of great games too.
Yeah, refugee from Lebanon who became a filmmaker and then said, "I'm going to make video games," which is amazing. And he's just been getting better and better. It Takes Two. We were talking about games that people you introduced to like a normie. Oh, those are easily hands down. Split Fiction and It Takes Two would definitely be one of those ones.
Yeah, good.
Go on. You're gonna say something?
I haven't played It Takes Two yet, but I've heard that because we were planning on playing it, but I know you played some of it, but you weren't able to get through it because it got a little difficult.
No, because I was playing with myself, and my wife was just saying like, "Here, you do this part. Here, you do this part."
Yeah. So would you say that Split Fiction was probably would be a little bit easier for a normie?
It has much more of that spectacle feel. I think that normies would love a lot more. True. We talked about it at nauseum, but the dark hole levels, the whole weird childhood, playing as the special pigs, and then becoming the hot dogs and stuff like that. The crazy robotic cyberpunk levels, and then the dragon levels. The amount of creativity that is put into just these short vignettes that are actually very well done at a scale that I don't think any real indie dev could pull off unless they had like the experience. It's just astoundingly great.
So after we played it, we did a couple hours spoiler cast on it, essentially on Carl's channel.
Yeah, we got to redo that. I want to do a redo of that.
Okay, I was like, is that one still exists, or is that one that got deleted?
That one got deleted. But like,
I was going to link it in the description afterwards, but
apparently. But yeah, I feel like we got to redo that one.
So we'll have to play through it again, and in a way that I can get achievements too.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Puppy.
Yes. So. So you asked me about him recently. So I did adopt him, so he is mine now.
Good boy.
So he's a good boy. But so Split Fiction was also my game of the year for last year. That game was excellent, and every time like it introduced a new concept, I was like, how can they? There's no way they can one up this. And then like the very next chapter, like, yep, they one upped it, and that kept happening over and over and over. And just like the last like act of the game was just like bonkers in like the best way possible. So that game was amazing. I look forward to playing through it again at some point.
Amazing sound design. That's another thing too.
Oh yeah, and the sound design was great. Graphically, it looked amazing.
I do like this kind of rise of like this kind of couch co-op kind of games.
Yes, I love those type of games.
Yeah, I like that, and I need to play Split Fiction.
Split Fiction's great. You just need to know somebody who owns a copy of the game, and then you can just play it.
Yeah, and I said this on that like spoiler cast that we did. Like every level, like it never reuses the same concept again. Every level has like a new mechanic, and almost every single one of these mechanics could be made into its own game. So
yes,
and it took a lot of inspiration from games as well. It's like, oh, this is just like this old game, or this is just like this old game. But there was so much stuff. It's like you could spin this off into their own games with just this mechanic.
It's a well-written story, and I feel like what happened was they kept pitching different game ideas. And I feel like there was some person at that studio who was like, well, wait a minute, what if we just make a different story but use all these stories?
Why don't we just do it all at the same time?
Yeah, and it works. Honestly, last year had so many great games that came out, and it was Split Fiction got snubbed, I think, way more than it should have. It's a vastly superior game than It Takes Two, and that won Game of the Year for that year. And I feel like that it's a game that got enough recognition, but I think a lot of people don't understand just how great that game is.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I think it's great. There's also coming out next month is Orbiters. I can't remember of it.
Oh, Orbitals. Is that the
Orbitals,
anime one on Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah, Orbitals.
It's done up in a really cool classic 1980s, early 90s anime style. And it kind of looks like they also got inspired by those games as well. So I'm looking forward to checking that game out as well.
Yeah, shout out. I forgot about that game.
I mean, I do kind of have a question. If there's any games you guys are looking forward to this year, then?
Oh, I got a lot coming, actually.
We did that at the beginning of the year on top five most anticipated games for 2026. So let me pull up what my answers were for that one. And so my top 5 most anticipated games for 2026, most of them, 3 of them are out, and 2 are not out. 1 comes out in just a couple weeks. But my number 5 was Star Rupture, which actually I think came out into early access like the day we did that stream. My number 4, Pragmata, which I haven't played yet, but
great game.
Carl sent it to me. I'm probably going to be playing it within the next few weeks because I've heard nothing but good things. I played the demo. I loved it. I'm really looking forward to playing it.
It's one of the more unique and awesome games that I played this year. It's definitely in my top runnings
for Game of the Year this year.
For my current Game of the Year, but there's a lot of great games out there. It's one of those. I'm a Capcom fan, so you know what I mean. I'm just going to play every Capcom game, and I'll let you know. This game was started development in, I believe, 2020 by a brand new junior dev team, and they let it cook, and it turned out to be really good. You know, a lot of people thought it was going to be just shovelware, and then it just comes out of nowhere to be probably one of the more unique and interesting, not for story wise, but definitely for gameplay mechanic. A breath of fresh air of just like someone's trying something new and interesting. A hacking shooter,
shooting and hacking at the same time. It's a really cool concept.
It's like a cover shooter, but instead of covering, you got to hack and move it around and try to do all this stuff. It's great.
My favorite name for it is Dad Space. I love that. So that was Pragmata's my number 4, and I'm going to be playing that probably within the next couple of weeks. My number 3 comes out this in a few weeks, and that's Plague Tale Legacy Resonance.
Plague's Tale Legacy.
Plague Tale, no S. On your video you released the other day, you kept saying Plague's Tale again. I'm like yelling at my iPad. I'm like, Plague Tale, there's no S.
I can't help it. It's my
get it right.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of the first 2 games. This one, the gameplay is very different, but it still looks great. I know Requiem, which I actually just played earlier this year for
Requiem
the first time, is in Carl's like top 5 games of all time. That game was fantastic.
Tom, you said you like those PlayStation 3 games. Did you like Uncharted 2?
I have Uncharted 2 up there.
Have you ever played Requiem yet, or the Plague Tale games at all?
I've not played the Plague Tale games. I want to play them.
Requiem is the closest thing I've come to the same feeling I had when I played Uncharted 2.
Okay. I haven't played the Uncharted games, but that's another series that was on PlayStation that I want to play at some point. So,
Highly recommend the Uncharted
those games are great. So I'm
Yes.
very much looking forward to the new one, even though it's going to be more of a hack and slash rather than a stealth game. But I love hack and slash as well. So I'm
She
very
can't
much.
take a hit though. I did you catch that part where I said?
I haven't seen much about it, but what I have seen, I'm very excited for.
Yeah, I can't wait to play, especially because it revolves around the tale of Theseus and the Minotaur of the Minoans. You know me, I'm a history guy.
Yeah, you're a history buff, so I don't really know anything
Video
about
games and history. Can't work a computer, but I can tell you about everything else.
So my number 2, also taking a bit of a genre shift from the previous game, and that is Control Resonant. The first one was a third-person shooter, and this one's more of a hack and slash. But like I said, I love hack and slashes, so this game looks freaking awesome. So I'm very much anticipating Control Resonant. And then my number 1 is in early access, so I've played it, but it's not done yet, and that is Subnautica 2. Because the first one is in my top 10 games of all time. I love that game.
Subnautica 2, I'm enjoying so far.
I haven't finished the story because I've only been playing it on stream, and I've kind of fit it in when I can. So I think I'm getting close to the end of the early access story part, but I've been loving it.
I will say there's 3 games I'm looking forward to that are coming out. The Blood of Dawn Walker.
Okay.
It looks good.
Warhammer 40K Dawn of War 4. Because I'm a big Warhammer fan. So I'm looking forward to that one.
I know very little about Warhammer except what I've gleaned from playing Space Marine 1 and 2.
You've mentioned Control Resonant, which is another one I'm looking forward to. But Star Wars Galactic Racer looks so fun.
It looks amazing.
It does look pretty good. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Why I'm excited for it is because it's made by I think it's made by some old school Need for Speed and Burnout devs.
Yep.
So I'm definitely excited because of that reason.
There's a lot of great games that are, look really good. I can't wait for the new Fire Emblem game. They just did a whole direct about that today.
Yeah, I just saw something on it.
It looks interesting. I'm going to cover that more tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. It would be Thursday for my news show. But I'm looking forward to just getting that in my hands and playing that. It looks like they're taking some really creative, bold choices, and I wonder how that's going to play out. Obviously, another game that I'm kind of looking forward to is Zero Company, the Star Wars game.
Not a big fan of the XCOM gameplay.
That's a RTS game, right?
It's a tactic game. Yeah,
it's a tactics game.
It's like XCOM, and it's made up by a studio made up of a lot of former XCOM devs. And they've been really hammering the point in every interview that they're in that the player character that you play as, his name is Hawks, is not supposed to be just a 2-dimensional board. They said they're really trying to harp on the RPG elements of this game with some minor exploration, but a lot of dialogue and bonding stuff. They keep saying it's supposed to be we're trying to make it like Mass Effect. So that's a big shoe to fill, and I gotta put on my, you're saying it's like Mass Effect? Okay, let's see what you got here.
Definitely not in the gameplay department, but I think I see what they mean with your squad
storytelling. Yeah, I mean, it's good. They picked a good time period. Dying Days of the Clone Wars is a really good place to put it. So I kind of want to see it, especially because I want to have. I don't like hunting achievements as much as Neo, but it would be fun if they have one that says you got to beat certain missions as all astromech droids and stuff like that. I think it would be fun to see what kind of creativity they could come up with that. But there's just, like I said, that I'm super excited about that Star Wars racing game. I think it looks phenomenal. Also, the new Castlevania game.
Oh, Belmont's Curse. Yes,
yeah,
I'm very excited for that one.
Every preview I've been reading has been super positive. It's made by the Dead Cells devs, and it has that art style that is in line with Hades, and I love that type of art style. So it's just you're kind of selling me here, right?
Yeah, it looks great.
It looks wonderful. I have no complaints so far of what I'm seeing. I just need to get it in my hands. The only complaint I have is the Steelbook edition is only sold in Europe, so I gotta wait for it to come from the T country to get to me.
So, one other thing that just popped in my head, it doesn't have a release date, so I don't know if it's coming out this year or next year. But shout out to Matt Black for the Lucid demo I just played last night. That game, I'm very much looking forward to that whenever it does come out. So shout out to Lucid as well. So, all right. So yeah, we were talking about Split Fiction was our favorite. So Patriot, you mentioned all the other games from 2025 that you did play. So, Carl, what were some of the other games that came out last year that you were a fan of, that you were a big fan of as well?
I did like Danky Kang Bonanza. I thought that was a really good game, especially if you had a Switch 2 and you were looking for like a killer app, as they would say, to buy one. One of the other games I had a absolute blast playing was a game called Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Oh, I remember you having a good time with that one.
I am a big fan of the Yakuza series, and Goro Majima is everyone's homeboy, and nothing says pure chaos than playing as good old Captain Majima going around and having pirate battles in the middle of like the Hawaiian archipelago, which is awesome and great. Has one of the most insane sub stories I've ever seen in a Yakuza game.
And those games are already pretty crazy to begin with, right?
They're so over the top, but this one was extra over the top.
Yakuza cranks it up to 11, and then Pirates Yakuza in Hawaii or whatever cranks it up to 12.
Yeah, I'm just like, basically what it is like you have to get like this fat schlubby first mate of yours. Well, not first mate, but you know what I mean.
Like your second command.
Yeah, you got to get him to go on dates with these hot women. So they have like the actual actor are surrounded by all these like porn stars, because they are porn stars. We looked this up. And he goes and does these like weird dates with them. And it's just like, you got to watch it. It's like, it's a 30-minute nonstop cutscene where you just watch it. You don't play the game. It's just, this is your reward. It's just to watch this guy humiliate himself with a bunch of beautiful women.
So, best pirate game?
Probably I would say up there.
Were you a fan of AC Black Flag?
I never played it.
Okay.
This is my first experience, actually. I've been playing the remaster.
Oh, you've been playing Resynced?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm more of a new Assassin's Creed fan.
That's right. I forgot about that.
But I want to give one more shout out, though. And that is Alters.
That's also, I've been on the edge. It's like it looks interesting, but I haven't committed to playing it yet.
You seem like you wanted to say something there, Mr. Patriot.
No, I was pretty much gonna say what Nerdy said. It looks interesting, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
It has a very unique concept. Mick Dizzle, he's been really hammering that game home. In a
good way?
Yes, in a really good way. Basically, this isn't like the first 30 minutes of the game, so it's not really a spoiler. But you go to this planet and you're trying to do like an expedition mission, but everyone dies except for this one dude. But he cannot do everything to run this ship. So what happens is they have this replicator on their little base, and what it does is it replicates the person in question, but it does different parts of their memory if they took different paths in lives, and they make that guy. So if he needs a mechanic, they replicate a guy who's a mechanic, but it's only through different events in his life changed. So he gets like a fake memory, and it pops out as like, well, I'm a mechanic, but I did things in life differently than you. So it's basically a bunch of like what if scenarios that were artificially made up by this AI, and they keep printing out more copies of him.
I heard an interview with the guy, because it's the same character, just different versions of him. So the same guy voiced all of them.
Yes.
And I haven't played the game, but like he tried to give a different like voice to each character, so you can actually tell them differently by their voice, even if I don't know if they look different, but he tried to make them sound different. So shout out to the guy, whoever the guy was that did the voice for the primary character of that game. He probably put in a lot of work for that one. Playing like how many different characters in that game?
It's like multiple. I think it's like 12 personalities you can get.
So
Yeah,
I'll probably play it. I just haven't decided yet. I'm still kind of on the fence, but it looks very interesting.
It came out with a DLC just a couple months ago, and then it went on sale, like really deep sale on Xbox. So I finally pulled the trigger to have it on Xbox. I own it physically for PlayStation, but yeah, I prefer to play on Xbox for these type of games. It's got a fun base building mechanic, resource management, stuff like that. But it by far it's like one of the best examples of a fresh new idea that people should check out and play and support. It got a lot of publicity behind it, like as well, but I feel like a lot of people kind of slept on it or didn't give it a chance, which is sad.
All right. So just to wrap up here, so yeah, Split Fiction was my favorite last year, but the other games that I really enjoyed, probably my runner-up would be Revenge of the Savage Planet, because Journey of the Savage Planet, I love that game. It was in my top 5 Metroidvanias. I think it got bumped off by a couple other really good Metroidvanias, but Journey of the Savage Planet, I was a huge fan of, and I really, really enjoyed Revenge of the Savage Planet. So that'd probably be my second favorite. The other ones that I played that I really enjoyed, the one that I have the most hours in, I think this is the game I spent the most time in last year and this year. It's Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4. But not my favorite, but I've been loving playing that game. It's one that's basically always in my quick resume. I play it for like 5-10 minutes a day almost, because it's got, you basically have to beat the entire game with every skater, and there's 30 skaters. So I basically play a little bit, and I've been piecemealing it. So that's why I've had the most hours in that one, but I've really enjoyed it. 1 and +2 was better, but I've had a lot of fun with 3+4. And then the other 2 games that I had a lot of fun with was Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which was excellent. I'm a huge fan of Ninja Gaiden. I do like not the original, because the original one on Xbox, and they re-released it as Ninja Gaiden Black with some of the DLC at the time, because not many people had Xbox Live, so they released it on disc. And so Ninja Gaiden Black is my favorite, but Ninja Gaiden 2 was also excellent. And playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black was they added a couple of things and made it, it's on Unreal Engine 5, so it looks gorgeous and it ran really smoothly. So I had a lot of fun playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. And then I also had a lot of fun playing Ninja Gaiden 4. But I did like 2 Black better, but that's kind of a cheat answer, because it's just like a remaster of an older game, whereas Ninja Gaiden 4 was a newer game, but it was done by Platinum, so it plays a little bit differently. So it wasn't the best as a Ninja Gaiden game, but it was still a really awesome hack and slash, and I had a lot of fun with that.
You guys heard about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin game coming out?
Last Ronin?
Yes, Platinum game is what they caught me off guard the most.
That one looks I want that to be good.
It's just a teaser, so I don't know anything about it, but I'm very interested to know more about it. So, because Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance was an awesome game. I need to go back and play that one again, because I haven't played it in forever. And Vanquish, I can never give Vanquish enough credit, because that game is fantastic.
Oh, that baby game? No, I'm kidding.
And that game is
that game's for babies.
So slept on. That game is amazing. So, so we got 3 new Ninja Gaiden games last year, and 2 of them were great. It wasn't bad, but I was not really a big fan of Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. It disappointed me as a Ninja Gaiden game. It wasn't what I was expecting. I haven't played Shinobi Art of Vengeance, but I think I'm going to like that one a lot more. I'm really looking forward to playing that one. I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet. So I need to pick that one up. It just hasn't been on a big enough sale. So, all right. Well, that was all my favorite games from 2025, and that'll bring us to a close for tonight. So thank you for joining us, Atomic Patriot. Had a great time having you on and talking some games with you. So the links to everyone's channels are in the stream description, and Atomic Patriot's channel is in the actual title of the stream, but I'll drop the links here in chat as well. So what do you got going on that you want to let everyone know about?
I gotta unmute my mic real quick. You can find me on my channel, of course, Atomic Patriot, where I upload Monday through Fridays. I talk about pop culture stuff and the occasional current day events. But you can also find me on the For the Homies channel, where I'm on their Sunday matinee stream, and you can also find me on Nerd Slaps Slapcast stream with every Sunday, which is it's always great to be on there. And
I've been playing phone tag with him for weeks on Discord.
That you can also again find me around just in like Discord, just chilling out, watching movies with the homies, and other than that, playing games, writing a lot, and just chilling.
So, All right. Well, thanks for coming on. Had a great time chatting with you.
I do appreciate coming on, man. I do appreciate being invited.
Well, glad you're here. The whole reason I started my channel is just to talk to people about video games. So, if you like video games, that's what open mic is for as well. People are welcome to invite themselves on. We'll get it scheduled and have you come on. We'll talk video games. So, and yeah, dude says, nah, do those challenge levels of Vanquish. The last enemies in the final challenge is double the final boss in a small. Yeah, the last challenge, because there's only 6 of them, but challenges 5 and 6 on Vanquish are incredibly difficult. So, all right, Carl, what do you got going on?
Currently, I have 2 videos that are out right now. Games to look forward to for the month of August, as well as other games to add to your backlog. So I got some couple of fun retro games out there. A new series I've been trying to work on, trying to get better at doing this stuff. As well as a new video I put out today, which is all my video game pickups for the month of July. So
I have that on my watch list. Haven't watched it yet.
Got a lot of fun stuff there. If you just were, when you saw the Screamers thing, that was pretty much everything from that video, because I haven't put them away yet. But that's really about it. Tomorrow we'll be back with another episode of Legacy Loading with Jason. I think so.
You got a hold of him?
I have, and I messaged him, and it's so far I'm waiting to hear back from him. But he said that we are sure a go, hopefully, for tomorrow.
I've been playing Discord phone tag with him for months.
The same. All right, what do you think? It's not that easy. I live next to him, for crying out loud, and I still can't get a hold of him that well. But
we're looking to bring Top 5 back. I just need to talk to him, and I can't get in touch with him.
Yeah, but we're going to do an episode of the G4 Icon series, and that episode is dedicated to SNK.
Okay.
So, got to get my our fighting expert friend to talk about a fighting expert studio, or publisher, I should say.
Yeah, Jason's your guy.
And then the rest of this week, Thursday will be the news show. That's open if people want to join in. I know you won't be able to make it, sadly, Neo, but if you were, you could have hopped in for that one.
Which one is this?
This Thursday.
Oh, yeah, I've got a stream.
Yeah, so that's the one just covering the recap of video game news throughout the week. Just got some big stories, small stories, a lot of interesting stuff that's been going on. And then Friday, that one's been postponed from 8 o'clock Central to 9 o'clock Central. And we're going to be joined by Mr. Angry Canadian. And we're going to be discussing the Halo 1 trilogy, as I lovingly have called it. Where we're going to
the original release, anniversary, and campaign evolved?
Yes.
All right.
We're going to sit down and we're going to talk about that in an episode of Nostalgia Saved, kind of like what we've been doing, Neo. We started with the Mass Effect series, so I'm kind of been doing that with a couple people, where we're going to pick a gaming franchise that we all like, and we're all going to kind of do like mini retrospectives and give facts and talk about that stuff.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely look forward to hearing that one.
Yeah.
So, all right. As for myself, picked back up with Metroidvania Monday. On Mondays, I just did the Lucid demo, which was a lengthy demo. It took me about 5.5 hours to get through. It's a big chunk of the game, and that game was great. So, it's go check that out. Put it on your wish list if you like platforming Metroidvanias. It's great. No release date yet, but I'm having him on open mic in 2 weeks from now. So, but tomorrow night, or not tomorrow night, I don't have anything going on tomorrow night because I'm going to be at the concert seeing AC/DC, which I'm super excited for. But tomorrow morning, I will be back to Satisfactory with Lowest Expectations as we finish up Satisfactory. We beat it on our last stream a couple weeks ago. Now we're just working on getting me the rest of the achievements. So we may finish it this week. We are very, very close. So we'll be doing some more Satisfactory tomorrow morning. And then Dude and I will be doing our Achievement Chasers on Thursday evening. We didn't do one last month, so we got June and July to talk about. So we got a lot to talk about. So that's probably going to be a long one. And then I'll be back again on Friday with some more Satisfactory with Lowest. And then more Metroidvania Monday on Monday. I don't know what I'm going to be playing next. I was saying last night, I'm leaning towards Yoku's Island Express, but I also really want to play Guns of Fury. So I haven't played either of those ones yet. So it'll probably be one of those two as my next Metroidvania Monday game. So, and I'm hoping we can resume top 5. I have it on my calendar for next week, but I don't think it's going to come together. It just depends on if I can get a hold of Jason and we can chat and figure out our schedule. So, but yeah, I'm all back to regular scheduled programming as usual. So I will be live almost every night, Monday through Thursdays for the foreseeable future. So, anyways, that will do it for tonight. Again, Tom Patriot, had a great time talking games with you. Thanks for coming on, Carl. Glad to have you. Well, have me back to have you on as my co-host, because I've been off gallivanting, and now things are all back to normal. So good to talk games with you as always. Again, happy birthday to Ryan, and bummed you couldn't make it, but Ryan, you need to talk to Atomic Patriot about Fallout, because you guys would have you could go have your own stream about Fallout. But hope you and the health issues that are going on in your family all hope to hear some good news. So, but anyways, everyone have a great rest of your evening. We will see you all later. And as always, in the meantime, game on.